Okay, so I just want us to listen carefully, open up our minds. Last week was beautiful. We had Mr. Imal here, and today we have Mr. Kolapo here. So Olorunyemi Kolapo Obadiah is a Nigerian artist whose practice delves into the intersections of identity, human connection, and futurism. Over nearly 2 decades, he has exhibited extensively across Africa, Europe, the UK, Asia, and America, presenting works that engage deeply with cultural narratives and societal transformation. Born in Ilorin, Nigeria, Kolapo's artistic journey began in his teenage years, sparked by a natural creative instinct and an early fascination with charcoal drawings. Although he earned a degree in applied physics, his passion for art ultimately shaped his career, allowing him to merge scientific inquiry with visual storytelling. This unique dual perspective informs his exploration of identity, memory, and transformation, adding an analytical depth to his practice. When you see someone that has studied science and then flies to the arts and is making it big, we should critically study those persons. So in a nutshell, whatever I'm saying is we should open our minds, prepare ourselves. He'll be taking us on a journey, and I want each and every one of us to be very open-minded.
I'm a very strong believer of Christ, good Christian, but that doesn't separate us from the fact that there are some things that we that are Africans. Yes, some of them are being used negatively, but that doesn't take it away from the fact that this is who we are, and it is through this that we are who we are. Now, how did they take all of this from us and be able to penetrate us? Through extraction of religion from us. Yes, it's a topic I don't want to go into today. I've done a lot of research, I've done a lot of things, and when I tell you something, it's not something based on belief. I've read books. If I know that I'll be reading like this in art, I will just go and do theater art or something else. But for you to produce a quality art, a sustainable art, and an art that will stand the test of time, you need to actually read. My first and the only time I had it, Professor Jerry Buhari. I don't know if anybody knows him, right? He said one thing to me, and until tomorrow it still stick to me. He said, if I'm in front of a painting, I will know if the artist is just a good artist that knows how to make a nice work, or this artist read a lot. It reflects in your work. You don't need to start putting a lot of words, a lot of writing to show that, oh, I know everything. But the quality of a narrative will show who truly you are. Back to my story. Now, I saw all of these things and I documented them into drawings, painting during my residency, and I decided to start a project I call Notopia. Notopia is utopia and new. Now, from the whole thing happening in the world, it's not a news again that if you're not careful, we're going to have a very bad future. And the future we're talking about is not in 2050. It already started since 2020 during COVID. COVID marks the beginning of a new era. Things are not going to be the same again forever and ever. Now, this is the part of Netopia. Let me now take it back to Zambia again. While I was in Zambia, I noticed one thing which made me feel so proud about Nigeria. So proud. To the left of my apartment in Zambia is a beautiful house owned by a US citizen. To the left is another house owned by a Chinese person. In front of the building is a restaurant called Salame restaurant, owned by an Indian person. To the back is US embassy. Now, I was taken to different places in Zambia. While going, you'll see on the expressway, you'll be driving from a particular farm to another particular farm, maybe 30 minutes to tell you how long it is. And it's owned by Indians, not Indians, Germans, thank you, US, whatever. They've eaten so deep into Africa. Only a few countries in Africa has repelled them. One of them is Nigeria. In fact, the top on the list is Nigerian. Sorry, let me take it back. Ethiopia is in top, then Nigeria following. Nigerian visa is the hardest in Africa. Are you aware? It's the hardest. I've done a couple of visas for people that are coming to visit me in Nigeria. I've had people from India, Germany, US come to visit me in Nigeria, and to run their visa is like this. Now, Nigeria has made their borders so tight for foreigners. But other African countries, they've been invading our places. They've owned, Zambia practically give, when I was entering Zambia, other African countries coming into Zambia, you line up here. British and European visa passport holders here. Zambia citizen here. On the Zambia citizen, you just see 1, 2, 3 blacks. Then plenty Chinese, plenty German, plenty US. I was like, are you guys aware of this line that you are on? They say they are all citizens, they are all carrying the passport. I'm like, what? In Nigeria, I can boldly tell you, we have less than 200 foreigners as citizens of Nigeria. And it was this farmer guy we just find recently that gave it to them, 100 something people. I'm talking about Buhari. In the history, we don't give our citizens to people. The best we can do to you is give you permanent residence. I was represented by Alexis Gallery for like 2-3 years, and she has been in Nigeria since when she was very young, and yet she's still holding permanent residence permits instead of citizenship. We don't easily give it out, and kudos to Nigerian immigration for that. Now, and I asked myself, why are they all pumping here? Why are they pumping money here? Why are they putting all of these things? And when I went to London, my eyes opened. So I was in London for my exhibition, and I decided to visit the Kingston University, which are actually planning a solo exhibition and a group exhibition for me over time. So I was there and I spoke with a couple of people in the art, history, and other departments, and it was a privilege to meet many of them. Now, there are some researches that they've done over time that I found that are like, now everything is aligned. I know why I'm being called to do this, and I need to wake people up to see it. First, for every 20 Caucasian, you know what Caucasians are, right? The typical whites that you see, and you take their sample, they will look yellow, beautiful, whatever. 7 out of 20 has black gene inside of them. You're surprised. Maybe their great-grandfather, great-great-grandfather, and great-grandmother, maybe must have slept with the black people, and then also do the same with the husband. Then the gene mix together, and there's a way they explain that. So it's appearing over time. So the gene has been transferring from one to another, and you are looking pure white. And a good example of that to prove that is actually true and right is the female footballer in Nigerian team. Did you see the last team? Did you see the white lady there? She's pure white, right? But her grandfather is black. He's a Nigerian, and that's why she's playing for Nigeria. Now, what is the implication of things? Black has been spreading beyond skin color. So this research, this Afrofuturism is beyond our color. It's broader now, it's wider. Now let me then go back again to Utopia. I found out that over the years, in this future, the only space on the earth whereby there has never been so much pressure on the land, like eating of ground. When you bring a lot of skyscrapers, we don't have skyscrapers in Nigeria, a lot of tractors, a lot of machineries working on land and compressing the land. The only place you don't find much of that is in Africa, right? Now, that is why we don't experience earthquake, tsunami, and all of those things. Now, over time again, there has been also research that's showing that a particular stone is moving. I use the word stone because that's the only simple way. It's not called stone. It's moving in orbit, and over time it's going to hit a particular place on Earth, and that place is somewhere between Europe and US. So every living being on that place wipe out. Now the third part is, you know, if you see the globe and you see the map of Africa, map of whatever, do you know the map of Africa alone is bigger than putting Europe and the southern US together as one? But meanwhile, they made our own very small. Now, they made it look as if we are here, they are here, they are here. Do you know where we are actually? We are here, under. And by structure and by natural wherever, all of the natural resources in the whole globe is settled down in one spot, in Africa. Africa is the richest. And the more we open our eyes and see those things, the more they have access to it. They've stopped slavery, but slavery is still happening low-key through the mind. Even physical slavery is still happening. If you go to Oman, I've been to Dubai, I've seen how people have been treated, especially West Africans, Nigerian, Ghana, those two, they are stubborn people. They are everywhere. They practically do a lot of things. I don't want to go into that. Now, they discover that the richest place in the whole world is Africa. And the safest place, the future of the world, is Africa. They want to occupy Africa, but they can't take us away. Now you see some things that seems like propaganda, GMO, drugs, vaccines, all of those things. Let me pick the vaccines and leave the GMO for the agri people. I was traveling between Frankfurt, Germany, to Paris by bus. And before I left Nigeria, I did my COVID-19 vaccines, first dose, second dose. But I refused to take the that extra one that you say we have to take. What's the name of it again? Booster. I refused to take the booster because first one, second one, I felt sick and it was so bad, so I'm not taking. Now they gave me certificate for the vaccine, right? And when I was flying from Nigeria, they required for me to fly with that certificate. On getting to Germany, I wanted to go around Germany that time. They said I can't use that certificate to go around. I'm like, you gave us the vaccine now. We are from Africa. I say, yeah. I say, we accept vaccines from anywhere in the world apart from Africa. And I was shocked. And I asked the guy, which vaccine did you take? He said, what's the name of that vaccine again that's produced in Pfizer. Wow, you guys are following. Thank you. Pfizer. I took Pfizer, you took Pfizer. So what's the difference? I said, no. Pfizer from Africa is different from the one in Europe. I'm like, what? Then I went back again, started digging, started looking at the white paper. Why is it different? You know, when God is doing his thing, sometimes we just think it's a joke. When God was hammering us with malaria, an average Nigerian have malaria at least 4 times in a year. At least one of the 4, sometimes one of the 4 may show and you fall sick, right? But many times we have some that will not even just say, at the feel tired ourselves, but just take Panadol, rest, and to escape, right? Our body is building immunity against malaria. Now, that immunity that our body has been building over time was what saved us from COVID. That's why we didn't die. The intention was Africa was one of the targets for the COVID. Believe it or not. Don't believe what I'm saying. Just go and read about it. Yes. Anything I say to you, don't believe. So they wanted to reduce our population. That's the reason for all of these things. Oh, they're sending, in a couple of months, they're sending down a malaria vaccination to us. Meanwhile, any research, whatever that is happening in Africa, they don't approve it. Yeah. A guy from Kogi State discovered the cure to HIV since how many years? To date, WHO did not even want to even view it. And many other persons. Do you know the first people that first discovered the cure for COVID-19 was Madagascar, right? Yes. And they bluntly tell you, they suppressed it immediately because they don't want anything to come. We can't be free. We can't be independent. All those things, we'll wake up to it. And let me tell you the truth, Americans, Europeans want us to japa. They are sponsoring us to japa. It's just that they are coordinating and controlling the inflow of people. They want you to leave Nigeria. That's the reality. They want to occupy this space. And that was why, ever since, even before that time, I'm not a fan of relocating, but ever since I've been so deliberate of not living here. We die here. Yeah. You know, what they call it. So one of my favorite music groups said, live and die in Africa. I love that song so much. So we live here and we go die here. So I have put my feet on the ground at this place. If you know the things I know, you will not consider Japa. A lot of opportunities. I spent 1 month in the city of Vigo, and my rent for a month was 1,400 euro. Water, 270 euro. Light, 270 euro. Water, 140 euro. City tax, 70. So how much am I going to pay in a month? You live in the system, you feel, it's better, security, what? I was in London one day, and there's someone, some teenagers were just working with skateboard. And this Indian guy was just, I used to buy shawarma from the Indian guy. I did that once. But over time, I come to that shop again after this incident. And that guy was just looking at them, and when you get to London, you don't play with teenagers. Yes. 13, 14, 15, they are the most dangerous people. So you look at, they will look at you, and the guy was looking at them like this, and I say, the guy is looking at them with bad eye. Do you know, in less than 2 minutes of that discussion, they stabbed that guy, jump on their skateboard, started jumping on the houses, and before police came, they left. And that's how that guy died, for nothing. Is that more secure than Nigeria? Everything has in and out. Everybody must not stay here. But don't stay or don't live because of trend. Live because of purpose. If a Christian seek the face of God, it is the right decision. Not all opportunities are opportunities. They are actually pits. They can be pits for you. Let's go back again to our discussion. So I found out that these people are actually eager to have this our space. That means we are the future. The same way we struggle to get visa to this thing. It will get a time they will be struggling to get visa back to this space. So they want to have a piece of here. They have to have the legal paper. I'm a citizen of this place now. See my passport. You have to allow them in if you have the paper. We've lost South Africa since ages. That place service, I don't even see South Africa again. We've lost it. When I was in Zambia, we did a project we were supposed to cross to, because it's just a few hours drive to South Africa. I told them I wasn't going. They're like, why? You don't want to go? We're having an art expo, whatever. I said, I don't go to places that they don't like me. I'm a Nigerian. South Africa don't like me. So I don't go there. And I don't see them as Africans. Like, what? What are you saying? That is it. That's the reality. Let's go back again. Now, I discovered all of these things, and I said, whoa, that's the reason why this dream kept on coming. And I pick up the projects. And I can boldly tell you, doing this project is a big sacrifice. People that have known me over time, I have built a very strong client base. Very, very strong. I barely go on social media and post my work to sell. I have people that I sell people's work by emails alone. Because over time, I keep track of every piece of my heart that's going out. If it's going to middle of India or Red Sea, I must have track record of where it's going to. So connecting to the collector that's picking this work, make me bring them close. I don't just sell work and you just carry it and go. No. If I want to take my work, you have to take my documents. You have to sign documents. You have to sign my bill of sales. You have to sign my, I have to give you a form for you to fill. And you have my certificate of authenticity and other things. So I have your record, I have your phone number, I have your house address, I have your email. So next time I want to do an exhibition, I don't want to start saying, please come, I'll just carry all your phone number and your emails. This is my next exhibition. But since I started Nutopia, my sales record dropped with over 50%. I make less money. And do you know why? Because the list of people I have are the people that I'm speaking the truth against, and they don't like it. 1. 2, even the local collectors, they're not seeing it yet. And that's the more reason why I should do it more. I have a friend, his name is Relentless. He's a German person. We did residency together 2018 and in ICDC. And we're in a particular space at the time, having dinner, and he received a call from Germany that his work was sold in a particular gallery, and we're celebrating thousands of dollars. And the guy said, from today to the next week, I'm going to sponsor all our food and all our. We say, hey. Then the next day again, they call him again. So museum, I sold your work. Like, guy, what's up now? How do they think they sell this work like this back to back? And the guy was smiling, and he told me one thing that did not leave me till tomorrow. He said, when I started this style I'm doing right now, let me tell you the style. It will just mix paint with epoxy, with resin, and all of those things. You will put the sculptors, you know this now. When you put separator, like oil and everything, you put separator in a particular place, and you will have mixed the color in different forms, and you pour it on the floor, and when it dries up, he picked it up. That's the artwork. So the first year he was doing it, creating narrative, creating all of those things with it, nobody bought one. Second year, nobody bought one. Third year, nobody bought one. Until the 10th year, then I started inviting him for exhibitions. Then people that say, that guy that does this thing. You know, there's something they call register. When you do an artwork, you see it first time, register, nice. If you're not even say, I did not buy. If your artwork is for decoration, when you put it for exhibition, people will buy it for decoration. But if your artwork speak power, people will keep looking at it. It will register, come back to it, and over time, it will become an asset. They will not be saying that I want to buy that artwork that has. They will like, I have one Kolapo. I have one. What's the name again? Sorry. Huh? Ogo. I have one Ogo. I have one Ikilo. I have one Richard. That's how it will be. It will not be, this artwork is fine. Oh, I like it. Oh, you have registered it. So selling an exhibition is not the yardstick of you doing so well. Now, next slide. Let's move. So what do you think Africa will look like in 200 years from now? I want to hear from you. I need two persons to answer me. 200 years from now, what do you think Africa will look like? Any two persons? Should I call? Okay. What do you think Africa will look like in 200 years from now?
200 years from now, I feel like we'll have adopted so much of Western culture that we will forget our roots. We're talking about something like that. Like, what is culture? I asked that question because I've seen that a lot of things have actually died down, and our culture and everything has our this Gen Z generation, they don't. These are our elderly ones are fading out. So to be like we are more like them. So there will be a lot of things that will out about Africa.
Okay, I like that perspective. Thank you. Who else? Should I call again? You know I'll call you now. You have to stand up and tell me.
Honestly, I don't have much to say.
Okay.
I feel like so many things will go out of existence and other things will come back.
Okay. So let's not waste our time. Let's pick it from that angle. So what can you do to make that not happen? Because we can feel that, we can see that. It's not for us to just feel it alone. It's for us to fix it. So what can you do? Educate the younger ones. And for clarity, okay, you want to say something? Okay, a minute. For clarity, any Gen Z in the house, right? Let me see your hands. You guys are old. Your generation done the oldest Gen Z is 28 years now, right? Do you agree with me? Yeah. Yeah. So in the next 2 years, Gen Z will turn to 30. Your generation on. So don't sit down and feel like we are the Gen Z. So you are part of the new whatever that have to groom the next generation coming. That is what I'm trying to say in essence. Yes, we need to wake up. Okay, can I hear you?
So I feel like the fundamental
Please, can you speak louder?
On the first people,
yes.
Like a lot of things. We lose a lot of things because of the strong influence of the Western culture and how they are manipulating the whole African culture and tradition. So that's my work. My work is about the identity and the dignity and the good things of my culture. So that when people in the public, when audience or when society sees the work, they will understand that this your root that you are running away from, that you are adopting so much of Western culture. Like you should be proud of who you are and where you came from.
Yeah.
And represent your forefathers.
Thank you. Okay.
So I feel like a way in which we can prevent that from happening is by using our arts to document our history and culture.
Thank you.
And tell our own stories.
Thank you. Documentation is hard. While on this project, Utopia, the major aspect of this project is the book I've been writing since that time. I've been writing a book about all of these things I've been saying to you. And I've been painting and working based on that book. So all of the things I've been painting ever since are actually materials for the book. If you don't document it, they would like, okay, who is reading now? Books will now turn to artifacts because all of the things coming up now are making it look like the book will not be valued again. And it's not going to be so. Yes, a lot of trees will be gone. So we have less book material. But print will be for lifetime. Trust me. Now, we need to work against this thing. There are some things that we need to highlight. Like I mentioned the CD people in India. Jamaican people, have you not wondered why they are all blacks in Jamaica and yet they are in America? There are people that brought from Africa to do sugarcane plantation in America that were not returned back. You hear about Afro-Caribbeans. All the people in the Caribbean, most of them are blacks. They are Africans, mostly from West Africa. Look at what they call it. Even you saw Mr. Imal last week from Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is close to India. Those people have a lot of similarities with African, and the root is tracing back to the fact that they have a lot of connection with Africa. And all of those things are actually a proof to us that African is growing beyond what it is, what they are projecting. Now, as an artist, we don't expect our work to just be for sale. So I think the reason for exhibition has clouded our face and made us feel like the essence of making artwork is for making money. If you want to make cool money, stop being an artist, being an art marketer, be a middle person. Only in 2023, I earned, by selling people's work and taking commissions from their work, I earned over 10 million naira in a year. So if it's to make money, let me just go leave the paint now and face the main business of it. You understand? Yes. So what am I saying in essence is the fact that if you want to make real money, there are other things. You can make money as an artist, don't get me wrong. But your focus should not be only to make money. Yes, you have to pay bills, find other ways. You invest in other things. That is when I'm not here to teach you about the business of the heart. I think Mr. Emmanuel have done justice to that. So, but all I'm saying is this: get other source of funding for yourself as an artist so that you can be able to do what you want to do and not what they are pushing you around to do. There's a lot to be done as an artist, and we are the mediators. We are the people that have to shed light on all of these topics. You get it? Now, before I leave this slide, Africa in 200 years from now, 200 years is even too much. 2030, which is about how many years from now? 5 years from now, a lot of shifts will be happening. And from my calculation and from research, there will be another, quote me today, please. There will be another similar outbreak like COVID before 2030. Because the first one failed. You have to bring the second one. Now check all these research, medical researches, technology researches. Go to Rolls-Royce. Check their major designers. You'll find a Nigerian there. Go to the, I don't want to be calling names. Even the so-called vaccines. Most of our guys are there. Check everywhere in the world, the doctors pulling the strings, making things work. Nigeria. Check the arts, although they're trying to suppress the African artists that are going way higher. Remember that guy from Ghana? That his artwork became so bigger than even people that pushed him. Now they are pressing the guy back down. Someone that is selling $1 million is now selling thousands. Now he's selling in 6 figures in dollars. Now he's going to 5 figures. To tell you that they have the power in their hands. So we need to wake up as African artists. Don't make work because of you. You say the people are liking it up. Let people come and be like, what is this guy doing? They come again. I'm not saying you make stupid art. But do you. Don't do people. Don't do what sells. When people come second time, okay, what's this saying, sir? Why is this guy like this? Then they start asking questions. Then they will not fall in love. They will be at the standpoint where you are standing. And that is when they will buy the artwork for the value it's actually deserved. Trust me. Now, Afrofuturism is something that we need to look into because I feel it is we, and we may not be the people that will actually benefit from it. We might just be like John the Baptist preparing the way for Jesus Christ. We have to make this information, all of this, available for the next generation. Now, look at this. when I went to Zimbabwe and Zambia, there's something that I know the people of what's that the tribe again? Tonga, Chengo or something. I can't remember the exact pronunciation of that name. Different tribes. So what I did in my solo exhibition in Zambia was this. I painted about their tribal marks. Their tribal marks in Zambia. To tell you how strong we are in Nigeria. There's tribal mark in Zambia. And I invited people from that tribe, each and every one of them, have a conversation with them, snap them, then use them as my reference for the painting. So after painting, I decided to exhibit the painting. And in the opening of the exhibition, all I did is, as you're coming in, you tell me your tribe, and you go and identify which of the painting is carrying the tribal mark of your tribe. And do you know, out of 60-something plus, I can't remember the exact 60-something people that came for the opening, only 2 persons got the tribal mark right. Only 2 persons even was aware that their ancestors used to have tribal mark. Thank you very much. The ambassador of Nigeria to Zambia invited me after my solo exhibition to his house, and we had dinner together. We had conversation, and I was telling him that how is it different here? It feels different, as if I'm not in Africa, but I'm in a poor village in Europe. They don't have a poor village like that, because every one of those guys I've seen all through my 1-month stay in Zambia, they were practically wearing. I've never seen a man that wears Zambia traditional dress all through my stay. I didn't see one. I only saw women that do rappers. That's the best I saw. Except for people that are into entertainment and just put 1 or 2 together and just try to show up. But I didn't see any one person. So it's as if over there, the culture is fading up. In Nigeria, you can see identify when you see 3 marks go like this. Who are those people? Huh? No, not like this. Going from the mouth, then going up. Takpa, Takpa, or what they call these people? Igala people. When you see tribal mark 4 coming from here, then stop at the bus stop here, then another one come here. You know it's a Yoruba person now, right? Yeah. If you see the tattoo all over the face, you know it's Fulani person. You can identify people with their tribal mark. But over there, they don't even know what their tribal mark look like. So it's telling you how we are going away from our culture. We need to drag it back. The future is ours. If all those researchers and all those people, apart from Kemi, anything bad, that is her name, if they can come back and work back all the things they are contributing to the Western world, to Africa, they know how it's going to be now. But we don't need them. All we need to do is to equip the next generation. One lady has come back from our place to come to Nigeria and represent Nigeria in football. He's telling you that we are getting close. People are seeing it. Imagine having more people coming back and investing not even their money, but their time and their resources into Africa as a continent. You can see, you know how much we will go. Next slide, please. So, what is Afrofuturism? Blending of African history, culture, identity, futuristic vision, science fiction, and speculative possibilities. That is what it is for you, but for me, it's not possibilities. It's what will happen. I am so certain, because I have seen it, I have felt it, and let me give you a proof. When I came back from Zambia, Spain Embassy decided to do a group exhibition for me and 2 other artists that were in Spain, and they called the exhibition The Experience. Now, while preparing for that exhibition, I had a dream that an African man invented a device whereby if you are born blind, they can actually bring out your eyeball and replace with another, or they wear you a device like goggle fixed to your eyes, and you can be able to see. And I woke up like, is it possible? What about those that don't have eyeball at all before? And I said, okay, it's not for me. I just painted it. after doing the exhibition, someone came to me and told me that I called the artwork Bionic Eye. Now, when I was doing the exhibition, one person came and like, oh, he's a white guy, and I'm like, so why are you doing this? I said, I don't know, but I have to do it. And he just brought out his phone and he just showed me. A research has been approved for the first phase of that Bionic Eye. They didn't call it Bionic Eye, but it was exactly what and I, oh, this is getting more real than ever. And that is why we need to preach it. Now, in literature, we have people that have been working on Afrofuturism. They've been pushing the narrative. They've been doing a lot of things. I met a couple of them when I did a project with the Goethe Institute in Lagos, where they made us speak with some persons virtually and some physically from all over the world. And I thought, oh, in everything they were discussing, an American lady spoke to us, and I enjoyed everything she was saying until when she said something. She said there's a difference between African futurism and Afrofuturism, and I smiled. And I asked her, what's the difference? She said African futurism is for people that are African and living in Africa, and Afro is for them that identify as blacks and say we are the same. They're just boboing yourself. When it's time, now you go to beg, say, I am Nigerian, no, my great-great-grandfather, please now, I am see my skin now. It's because we're not doing our assignment. That's how you feel, okay, let's divide us. We are not the same. Because one person was asking me, how does Africa look like? Do you know what they call it? Have you been to, what they call this guy's name again? Akon's house? I like, Akon's in Senegal. I'm in Nigeria. Africa is not a country, it's a continent. You're like, even Whiskey, I don't even know what his house looked like, that is based in Nigeria. Talk less of Senegal, Akon. Like, they see us as if we're still wrapping leaves around us. Some of them, especially in Germany. When I was in Germany, the narration about African over there is different. I told myself, the last place I want to be on earth is Germany, to live in. Because those guys, they don't see us for who we are. Funny enough, I said it when I was in Goethe Institute, and they look at me like this, like, I'm sorry, you are sponsoring our project. Yeah, they are German-based, whatever. But you guys know it. You know that you don't like us, and we like you, but we don't like us. Let's go back. No, so we have literature like Nnedi Okorafor has written a lot of. Can this be a little bigger? This is the best it can be, right? Yes, thank you. Octavia Butler has written some books, if you can check them out. We've all seen the movie Black Panther before. But the reason why I don't really buy into Black Panther is because it was an African story, directed, produced, and everything by them. So they pushed some narrative. Like, for instance, how will you paint a superhero that amazing, and at the end of the day, you killed him? You understand that kind of thing? Yeah, they want to show something that will be different, but at the same time, they want to suppress it so that their Superman, their whatever will still be above. So what Black Panther is to me, for instance, when I went to Ethiopia, I feel Black Panther is Ethiopia because they are the only country that did not allow external influence. My first experience, I've been to Ethiopia 3 times. My first experience in Ethiopia was 2017, I think, when I first went there. And I was amazed. When I was on the street, I still saw 1972 cars still driving, clean, nice. They are still using locomotive trains. That 2017, I think they are in 2001 or so. Their own year is different from our own year. Immediately I entered, WhatsApp stopped working, Instagram stopped working, Facebook stopped working. They don't allow all of those things. A lot of apps, there are some sites you go to, you will not have access to it. They control all of those things. A lot of blockage for external influence, which is amazing. So you still see their young folks still wearing their white, whatever, with orange, red, and green stripes. Yes, everywhere with pride. They still have the most quality coffee that you drink in a small cup, and you say that I know how to drink coffee. I know how to drink. When you drink that one, you do like this, strong. No modified. I was sorry to digress. I was in a place called what they call this place again in Germany, and they gave me a particular coffee, and they told me this coffee is actually Italian coffee, and I took it and oh nice, So like, we can I have the container? Just that's a made in whatever. So I now try to Google them. Do you know this so-called Italian coffee was actually brought in from Kenya, packaged in this thing? That's why Gucci will tell you US beds that they bought in Kano here. Go to Kano, you see them. Every day they ship out skins every day, every blessed day, and they will tell you it's made in. Where is it made from? It's because we are not waking up. They don't want us to refine our thing. Every day, while I was in my place in Zambia and Zimbabwe, you see copper going out. Copper, they have a lot of copper over there. We use gravel to build our house, right? They use marble to build their own house and gravel to decorate the house. Opposite, they have excess marble, excess. So they mix concrete with marble and pour it and to be strong. See how fun it is. They are blessed. And in the whole of Africa, the richest country in the whole of Africa, if you ask me, is Congo. And yet it's the forest. They have the gold we have in Nigeria, we still learn. Zamfara gold they learn, diamonds, and that's why they are facing war. And when someone tells me that the reason why we are facing Boko Haram and other sources is because of our natural resources, I will not argue it. Because when your eye is open to some things, you will be angry from inside. Do you know the money, the pounds we see today, when you hold a pound, you see a gold, right? That gold is from Congo. Congo that owns the gold don't have the gold, whatever, on their money. But the thieves that said we don't know how to keep our artifacts and manage our artifacts, that even though they stole it, I just saw this Crocs. I like the Crocs, and when you were sleeping, I just remove it and cut away with it. Then later on, who carry by this thing? I said, oh, now you. And I said, because you don't get good leg and you don't get fine house to keep the Crocs. So let me keep it in my own place. That's what they are doing to us. I was going from one museum to another museum, to Tate Museum and everything. I said I was going to pay to come and enter a museum where Benin art is, Benin artifact is, me, pay, Nigerian, to come and see my property. I said, I'd rather turn back and go to my house. So the money I was supposed to use to pay, I just sat down at the coffee shop close to the place. I was looking at the place and I crossed my leg and I was taking my coffee and my sandwich. I'd rather use it to chop and go back to my house and go and look at it on the internet. We need to wake up. So in art too, we have people that are doing it. Before I came in, and I found out that there are so many other persons doing it. We have Sunrai, we have them. Most of them are from the central and the eastern part of Africa and southern part of Africa that have been working on it. I have a particular friend that we're working on. He's a digital artist. We're planning a group exhibition together soon in Ethiopia. He has been doing it for way long, but as a digital art. So it's beautiful to see people that are doing the same thing and we're exploring all of those things. Now let's come to listen. You know, our work, our creative, whatever, is on the threads with AI. Are you aware? You can have medical consultation with just, don't worry, we'll send it. I'll send the document to you guys. Yes, with just ChatGPT. If you know how to use prompts very well, you'll be able to have a good medical consultation with your ChatGPT. Do you know? Even though ChatGPT tell you that so that they will not sue them. It says you go to doctor, but this is the right thing to do. So we are replacing doctor. Accountants, those ones they don't go take. If I still in this world and you are studying what they call it, library and information science technology, bye bye. Why are you like this now? Bye bye too. If you're studying what they call it, secretariat science and blah blah blah. Now, the few ones that are still here that are going to be here for long, can you tell me one or two of them? Computer science, yes, elementary. And computer science now is no more. It's just grand level. You have to be specific on the one you want to go for. Yeah. Which one? Medical doctors, yes. Little yes. But not lab scientists, though. Lab scientists. Yeah, lab scientists go see day now. What about artists? What about artists? Canvas designer. They don't go. Canva don't replace them since. Which one again? What about artists? Visual artists? They can't write? Yes. They can't write? You are boboing yourself. Now don't go too. But let me tell you why I feel artists cannot be replaced fully. It is those that are aware of their environment and are aware of the changes that are coming and they are trying to get themselves set for it. They are the ones that will not be wiped away by the force of AI that is coming. There are machines already that can do mural work. Are you aware of that? Yes. There are machines already that can paint on canvas, right? There are machines that can, in 1 hour, sculpt what you do, clay work, take mold, do all of these things. And in fact, there are some that will even carve out marbles and stone for you. Yeah. Clean. Yes. You'll not be able to differentiate. You tell now old master, so, oh, but this guy, they work, oh. They can do it. But the human factor added to the heart is what will make your work exceptional. You need to be looking at what we make. When Google wants to open a site for you, they say they should do a captcha. Thank you, to authenticate that you are human. That's the same thing you're going to do to your heart. You need to start introducing materials that AI cannot. But if you're doing on flats forever and thinking art is about story, I will just write codes. Let me tell you, for the past 1 year, I usually have issues with people that model for me. When they come for my exhibition and see the price I put on the ones, and you give me 20K for model, or my money. One lady particularly told me she's taking 500,000 naira for me for using her for a painting. After the two legal team had to talk because she's a model and she has a management and I have my management too, so they had to talk blah blah blah. We paid her close to 300,000 naira at the end of the day. And that was the end of me using the model. Now AI is there. I have been generating a lot of images with AI. So models too, they are way don't cast. And funny thing is, they are mostly free. Mostly free. Now you need to introduce things that will make your work exceptional and make it more dynamic. So let's go to speculative art before we come back to that. Now, in the context of this whole thing we are discussing, how speculative as imagined world that could be alternative histories, possible future, and parallel realities. Now, let me take you. I don't want to be working mostly with this. It will be too boring. Now be thinking next. I'm a young person like you, so we should be relating on this mode, right? Yeah. Now, the story that we all heard is that first, Christianity was brought to Africa by missionaries, by colonial masters that sent the missionaries, right? But it was not true. The Bible was written in Africa. A lot of things in the scripture were done in Africa. So it is Africa being aware of a religion called Christianity. But today I'm not here to talk about religion. So let's digress a little. Do you know also they made us believe that civilization was brought to Africa by who? Colonial master, European, right? But it was opposite. There's a people called Moor, Moore. They are from between Ethiopia, not even Sudan, Morocco. Not even Morocco, sorry. What they call these people again? This country, I want to remember their exact country.
Eritrea.
No, not Eritrea, I want to remember. Mali. They're from Mali. Now, let me tell you the history of Mali. When you see some African countries, you see that they are white, right? Were they white? Was Egypt white? Egypt were not white. Egypt were blacks. It was the invasion of the Arabs to Egypt that actually turned them from black to white. There's a tribe in Egypt to date. They call them, why am I forgetting all these names? I can't forget. I can't remember again. They are the real owner of Ethiopia. But because Islam came with war, if you don't accept Islam, they wipe you off. So they are migrated from Egypt down to Mali for their life, so they don't die. And they spread across other countries, like Sudan, like Eritrea that you mentioned, like all of those places. So their culture is similar to Arabs, but they are not Arabs. So they are the one that actually influence, or they are, I don't know, I've not dig deep down into their culture, but I know they are not far from this their lineage. They are from the Hausa people of Nigeria right now. That's why you have Hausa people having similar culture with Arabs. It's not just because of Islam. It's because they have atom of Sudan, atom of Mali, atom of all of these places in their culture. The same thing with Cameroon. Cameroon have the same wherever too. Now, they have written the narrative to make it look like, oh, they brought civilization. There's a person that was richer than Solomon in this world. Masa Musa. That guy alone walked past Egypt, and Egypt's economy transformed because he doesn't spend money. He spends gold. Do you know this guy was the colonial master in Spain and Portugal for decades? It was these people that came to fight. It was Portuguese and some other people that came to fight war and chase them out of. Listen, he was ruling. He was a black man ruling Spain, and they made it look as if they are the one that colonized us. I have an issue which will bring me to this narrative I want to talk about. In my house in London, the toilet in that house was bad. So my landlord, who is a white man, asked me to go and use the toilet upstairs with my neighbor living upstairs. So that my neighbor is someone that all those guys that used to put tiro. I don't know what they call tiro. They believe they serve Satan. Yes, Satanist. Thank you. They wear black. He wears black. He keeps his ear long. He paints black hair, his lips black, whatever. Do your thing, I do my thing. If you say hi, he will look at you with some evil eye. So that is not my issue. But the issue I had is the fact that one day he reported me. I was just staying there for a month. He reported me to the landlord that whenever I use the toilet, that he doesn't know what I'm doing in that toilet, that there used to be water on the floor, that using a toilet does not need you to does not require you to use water, apart from the only water there is the one that you use to flush, and it's concealed in that place. And the wash and basin is away from the WC. So where is water coming from? So he reported me, and he reported me arrogantly. So both him and the landlord, I used that opportunity to school them. And I said, let me take a bit. I asked him where he's from. He said he's from Europe originally, but living in London. I said, perfect incident happening right now. So let me school you. Long time ago, your people, Europeans, they don't bathe. They dip their clothes into water, squeeze it, then rub their body. It was the people of Mo that came and showed you how to use soap. They made soap with palm oil, showed you how to use soap on your body to wash yourself clean and actually to bathe. The same way, the right way to clean yourself when you go to the toilet, that's why you guys smell, is the fact that you use water to wash your bum first, and to use the toilet paper is actually to wipe the water, not to wipe the main thing. So if you use this to wipe, that's the reason why you are smelling. So the reason why you see water touching anywhere is because after I wash my hand, I clean, and maybe when I'm doing this other one, in fact in Nigeria now, you see that pressure, whatever, everywhere in toilet now. People use it now, exactly. So you use this thing to wipe your whatever. It's none of my business, but that doesn't make it the standard. So you are a dirty person, and you are asking, so today I've told you today now, I've mentioned to you today that this is how to do it right. And I say, who is this African boy that is schooling me? I said, the one that is here to school you, and you have to listen. So it is the same way that they made it look as if civilization was brought into Africa. But because we don't have records. The only record we have of writing is Uli, NCBD, and a couple of them in Egypt, a lot of them in Egypt. Most books, most literature were written in Egypt those days. People traveled from Europe to come and learn how to write, before even English came. That's when people were questioning the word Jesus, the word some of these things. Because it just came recently. English came recently. Arabic has been there long. Other form of writing has been there. Just that uli, when it was in Africa, were used by, just the same way in Yoruba land, you see some writings that have been done by spiritual people. Uli were used by courts people to communicate with themselves. But they carry the uli now to their side, lent it, take it, then modify and give it name and brought it back and said they are writing in Roman figure, they are writing in this thing. It's not valid. It is lie. It is lie. Now, I mentioned that even the heart. Let me tell you why. In this new age, if you are doing one job now, in the next 4 years, it will be very hard for you to even be able to sustain yourself with that one job. You need to open yourself to multiple things to do. If you know you're a gifted artist, you know how to get all your things together. Try to learn another thing. It's easier for me now because to do all of these things because I had a very strong science background. Now as I'm talking to you, I own farms. And I'm talking to you, I invest in real estate. I'm talking to you, I do other things. Now in the future, it's still going to get bigger and bigger. So you need to put yourself in multiple things. There are some courses that I think you don't need to stress yourself to go and study because you can get them like this. Can you get medicine like this? Can you get law like this? Those ones, you need to study them. Engineering, can you get it like this? If not, now collapse, you and your house go collapse together. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. But if you want to do some literature writing, can you get like this? Yes. Can you get art like this? I'm a living proof now. I've taught over 27 persons under my tutelage, like over the years, to start from painting from scratch to this thing. And I didn't go to school to tell you that I can actually know it, then transfer it again. So equip yourself for the future ahead. It's not to scare anybody, but to prepare us ahead, to make us know that this thing is becoming real. And if you can study the art, then study other things too. But right now, I know I belong to SNA, and whenever I say they get angry with me, if you want to study art, unless we change the art system, institutional system in Nigeria, study it outside Nigeria. It's better. It's because they see me being an artist and doing few things I do. You understand that kind of thing? They should make it attractive. When I said yesterday, when I started doing art, the people that were around me, they were not good example for me to even do that. They were poor. They were very, very poor. So it was not a very like rosy looking. That was why my parents like, you want to end up like this once again, Abi. You want to go and line up behind them and join them. Let's make this. So let's go back again. Okay, so one more, two more. Encourage breaking artistic rules to create new forms and mediums. That's the innovative part of why you should do this thing now. Now, this is page 5, right? I'm going to be showing you and doing you. This is you. This is who you are. Now, I'm going to show you a video in this how to create futuristic and speculative art. Explore history, folklores, indigenous technology. We said all of these things already. Fuse combined traditional elements like tribal marks, tattoo, clothing, symbols. All of those things have messages. They have meanings. Include them in your work. Cyborg, space travel, AI, and all of those things. Ask, what if? Challenge the present, imagining alternatives of realities. You know, storytelling, let your work tell stories. Now, I just feel, why would someone come to an exhibition? I'm someone that don't like doing the normal. I am an artist, I'm also a curator. I curate exhibitions for artists. Now, most of the art exhibition I do, I have a curator that curates it, and her name is Suza Garrido. Rodrigo Garrigo, she's Spanish. Now, she curates my exhibition, but she do less work because I make it easy for her. Before I come up with an exhibition, I must have created an experience for you already. My second solo exhibition, we had the largest solo exhibition attendees in the history of Abuja. We have over, is it 600, 700? I know it's about 500. And people, and which is the largest ever to date. And why? The first day we have just 80 people. But the 80 people that came went to tell, oh boy, this is, when you enter, you don't just enter and say, the art worker. From the point you are entering, you see a sticker on the floor that will direct you. If you don't read and understand this artwork, to understand 19th artwork will be hard for you. So the story, I take it from year to year. This one will take it from here to here. This one will take it from here to here. This one will take it from here to here. So I create experience. The same thing when I went to Spain, the same thing when I went to India, and the same thing anytime I do solo exhibitions, I used to make it an experience. Now, my next exhibition is about Utopia. It started in India. It's going to London. After going to London, we are going to a couple of European countries. Then it will now end back in Nigeria. The rounding up of the exhibition is going to be in Nigeria. So it's going to be either in Abuja or Lagos. So I have not decided which of the two galleries I'm going for yet. Now, and I told myself, why would I just do exhibition just like any other person? That's the same way I want to challenge you guys. Something must be done differently for it not to be like just the artwork. Now, I've done artwork over the years, especially the one I did with Okote Institute, whereby when you enter the installation of art, it will trigger light. And the light is about totem, it's about the Unwa Boy. So you know Unwa Boy system, who's Igbo here? Yes, Unwa Boy system, whereby you go through apprenticeship and all of those things. If Nigerians have taken that model, simple model, and using that system, do you know we would have produced a lot of doctors? That's the model they're using in China. So we're relating the China system, the Unwa Boy system together for the project. So we use science, technology, sensor boards, AI tools, and all of those things. So my new series I'm working on right now, they're going to be exhibited in London in a couple of months from now, and they are going to be don't play yet. Yeah, I'll tell you when to play it. Now, this is how the artwork will look like. Let's say I'm painting this work on the wall now. I painted this work on the wall now. When you enter the exhibition, the major thing, just one aspect of that exhibition was what I want to explain to you. You just pick up your phone, right? When you enter the exhibition, you just see a QR code. And when you scan the QR code, you just keep it on your phone. As you get to each of the artwork, take your phone. The QR code is scanned, you open your camera. Just take your camera to face the artwork. And it will take you on the journey. One of the journey of one of the artworks is what I'm going to play for you. So when you pick up your artwork, you don't scan a code though. When you just come, just scan your code to register yourself into the camera, right? You don't need any app, you don't need anything. Just point your phone to the artwork like this, and it will just open from the camera to carry you and take you to somewhere else. Now you can play the video. It will not show. This is one of the artwork. It's called the Potter. It will not take you to this. That's what the artwork will take you to.
The Portal, an Afrofuturistic abstract realism painting series by Kolapo Olorunyemi. It began in 2018 as a Welawa. By 2019, those lines found color. Then came a Welawa awakening, the leap into Afrofuturism. Now, we arrive at the Portal, a turning point, a body of work that breaks boundaries, merging abstract realism with symbols of power, elegance, and resilience. Inspired by fella Annie Kulabakui's iconic song Lady, a piece that questions, celebrates, and redefines womanhood and African pride. It is a record of African identity, a vision of who we were, who we are, and who we might become.
Now, this seems to be just a simple video, but this took me 1 month for me to research, asking questions. I don't, you see that image? The image, let me show you from here. Okay.
I think we should play out collab.
Thank you. You see this image here, right? That symbol, like a medallion, right? Yeah. It seems like a medallion to you, but that medallion is going to be somewhere on that painting, and that is what I have embedded QR codes. There are a lot of codes embedded into this image, and that's what's going to be on that canvas. And when your camera pick that thing, you see that code. Now you are creating an experience for your viewers. You don't just see artwork. So look beyond just painting. Look at things. Look at materials. Look at it's as I said earlier on. The only artwork that will face the test of time of AI is those artwork that is just beyond painting something too flat, because AI can carry brush and look like this, right? Can do all of these things, but it can't do mixed medium. Mixed media works like put layer on top of layer, gum this one. It can't do this, it can't do that. The same thing with sculptures. Study the AI itself, study the limits of what it can do, and be at the top of your game ahead. You understand what I'm saying? Now let's go to the next slide. Interaction segments. Now, this is where we have to do something. Do we have our sketch pad around? Right? Now, I want you to look at the work you do, how you paint, and can you take your present style, present project, present character that you're working with, and take it to the future? Can you sketch something for me in like 5 minutes, and let's see from 4 or 5 persons how you can take what you do now to the future? Can you do that? So let's do that in 5 minutes. I'll be waiting.
So I think he wants to be like explain more.
Okay.
He said no.
Okay, I should explain more, right? Okay, let's say you do abstract like this. What element of futurism everything I've explained today about keeping our heritage, keeping our culture, documenting things that you can put it into this work that will make it futuristic? Do you understand? Take your artwork from now and take it to 200 years from here. So it might not be you putting futuristic mask or anything. It might be narrative. It might be this. It might be what I just explained now. So just give me a sketch of an idea that you can come up that can take your work from the year and take it to 200 years from now. Do you guys understand now? So let's see something. In 5 minutes. It doesn't need to be perfect sketch. It's not an art class, so no mark. So is this boring?
No.
Okay. Please, when I'm boring, just tell me, hey, your guy, you are too boring. So that we'll just round up and we'll escape. I would love to recognize the presence of people that I've not seen in ages. We have Monday here. We've been following each other for a long time. It's the first time seeing you. Lucky, right? Is it Lucky on Monday, right? Moonlight. Yeah, there's a name you have that's not Moonlight. I want to. Dawn. Yes. How you doing? It's great to see you. Richard, welcome. Thank you guys for coming.
I forgot that somebody borrowed it.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I think we should be running up now, right? To save time. It's just an idea, it doesn't need to be detailed. So imagine someone sitting down. I did a work long ago about one of my oldest work that I can remember. I think I did that work 2009. I called it Latte Fogger in New York. There's this fognizer guy that sits beside his machine and the tire, and it was posting like this. And it's in this is in New York City, sitting on the main express of New York City. Imagine having this fognizer guy that we see on the roadside. They're now sitting in New York City. So imagine, and one thing about the Latte Fogger that is making it so beautiful is having the tribal mark, then the local fognizing machine, and him sitting there at that spot on the tire, the way it is in Nigeria. Now, imagine that spot is not New York, it's still Nigeria, but Nigeria in the future. We don't expect to see people on the roads doing that again. Yes, but you are carrying the present, you are marrying the present, the past, the travel mark, because people don't barely do travel mark, they're taking it to the future. Imagine having to see the word superstar and the person having a Igala travel mark or Yoruba travel mark on his face. It's not because we are preaching that the travel mark should be continued, but the culture should be preserved and well documented. You know, it is known in Yoruba land, for instance, that people that plait hair to the back are mostly Shango worshippers. Now, it is now a fashion, and it may look as if those people never existed. But we should be able to keep record. He came here at the right time. So imagine seeing him like this and documenting it as someone that worships. I know you don't worship Sango. We're just admiring your hairstyle. So we just need to preserve our culture, take the past, keep the present, and match the future as one. Now, you don't need to do it just the way I do it. It can be simple as narration. Just make sure that what you are doing now is keeping time safe in a box for it to be open over time. And the light, you know, I can imagine in my head, and the light, when you open it and you just see the light coming into you, showing that there is information for the world to see. So I need 3 persons to show me, if you know you're proud of it. Okay, first, second, third, fourth. One more. I've counted you already. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more person. Okay, 5. Okay, so that's number 1. Can you show us? Are you a sculptor?
Yes.
Oh, amazing. Okay, good.
It's like African contemporary
Mask. Okay.
It's a stylized work.
Okay.
So, picturing it like this right here is like a display that when you turn it on, the history behind that portion, that particular portion, will pop out.
Hologram. It's called hologram. Wow,
Yeah,
amazing.
pop out with the symbols of identity of the culture and everything. You've seen everything there visually.
Wow, amazing. Let me challenge you, since you're a sculptor. What if you have a sculpture like that, fully, and instead of it to sit on a pedestal, it's hanging, sustaining in the air, like it's sustaining itself and going 360 and not touching the pedestal and just going. Do you think it's impossible? It's not jazz, it's possible. Physics is the answer to that, and it's possible. I'm challenging you. So imagine having your exhibition and you have such works and it's rotating, not touching the ground, just hanging. Like right now, there are decorative sculptures made in China that are working like that and spinning like that. So if you check the principle behind that, you can modify it because your own will be having much more weight. That is you having the mask, the narration, and adding the futuristic aspect of it, which is the technology, making it real. Imagine what I saw in your sketch was that first. But when you now said hologram is beautiful too, just a projection of light that will display things and Hologram is even going to different dimension whereby you can even touch it and feel it and wave it and type on it. It's possible. Anything is possible in this world. Think it, and it's done. One day I told myself I want to create an app whereby artists call me, I want to use projector. Instead of using projector for murals and all of those things, there will be an app that you can use and it serve as a projector. And boom, I conceived the idea. I asked ChatGPT. ChatGPT made it look as if it's not possible. I went to DeepSeek. I can use 4 or 5 AI together at the same time. When I ask you, you're telling me it's impossible. Nothing is impossible in this world. I asked another one. Then when that one give me hints, I'll merge it with this one and take it to this one again. Then send it. I can be using 4 at the same time. And every day I came up with an app that can do that. So I will not show you guys here so that you don't steal my idea. Okay, so let's have number 2.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. So this is an installation.
Oh, nice.
Idea. It's made from wood.
Wood, okay.
And recycled plastic. So it's actually a commentary on both pollution and deforestation, which are very futuristic problems and even present-day problems. So the idea is to fuse this with African beats from the Igbo community and also the wood in the wood. So I'm trying to preserve culture, but still like tackle the problems that we're facing. Because I feel like art is a medicine for society.
So I have a question for you.
Okay.
What do you think about this?
I like it.
Thank you, because it's amazing, and you should take this further. It's beautiful. Thank you. Let's clap for our 2. Yeah. Okay, number 3.
Hey everyone. Yeah, this is my sketch.
Oh.
It's more like,
Are you a sculptor too?
yes,
Okay.
more like a figurine submerged in the base that the pedestal holding.
Okay.
But it's showing more of pollution, plastic pollution, and how it affects us as human beings. Very soon now, you see, I used to wonder why there was no flooding back then when things were not this modern. Now you see that we have PET bottles and all this plastic, lack of conservation has clogged, especially in Lagos. You see smell, and also it's very kind of trying to cover its nose from the. You see a lot of smell everywhere. At 7-Up, that 7-Up, you see a lot of nonsense, a lot of smells. Once you pass in the bus, even though it's moving very fast, it's still passing a lot of smell. So I feel like very soon now, everywhere, got a lot of materials and plastic waste that are they are not properly managed. That very soon everywhere is going to be. So it's going to more like do more research on how these things can be conserved properly, and also thanks to structural pieces.
Amazing. Okay. In as much as you can sit down, thank you. Amazing. I love that. In as much as we are artists and we are mediators, we highlight problems. Sometimes too, it's also important for us to give solutions to the problems too. I love the idea, but there's one thing I would love to chip into the work. Since we are talking about PET bottles, PET all of these things, PET that. How about you go around in it, and maybe you go to a place like there's no bar beach again, but we have Landmark, we have other beaches, or waterways, water anywhere. Pack all of those wherever, document them, then melt them into liquid. No paint, no addiction of anything, and you to take your mold for that. That alone is screaming. Oh, amazing, amazing. Now, the futuristic part of the project you just showed to us now is the aspect of the problem that we're not looking at in the future. Especially in Africa, we are so relaxed. You go to anywhere now, I want to buy what they call toothpaste of 100 naira. They will give you nylon. You put nylon. They say, okay, yeah, you put nylon. We are killing ourselves. In Western world, they don't give you nylon. You pay. It's only paper bag that can decompose. That one takes like 80, 90 something years for it to decompose. But if you create an alternative way to recycle those things and to be reused, then we can easily keep producing. We can't keep producing more plastic when it is damaging our community. We can't put inside water because it will be killing our fishes. We can't just go and dump it underground because it will not decompose. But paper, it takes paper, not maximum 1 month or 2 months, it will turn to this thing. It's wood. You understand? So we need to actually look at how we can create solutions too. And it's a very big problem that will be so much of a great target over the years. Well done. I think I like that too. Thank you. That's number 4, right? 4.
This is my sketch. So it's more like subjection of using the raw materials from the town fronts. Because me myself, I'm a farmer, so I've been trying to fuse that into. So instead of the regular painting on canvases, you could bring back the crafts, the handicrafts back there, which is fast fading. So creating lasting matte designs with actual raw materials from the farm, and making a painting, trying to project and see what Africa could be like the skyscraper, more like the US, the Statue of Liberty being a statue of symbol, having this maybe something I could just think about the Igbo car currently now, because just have something gigantic, then making a very big painting of this building, this skyscraper, but through the windows you could actually see people walking, just more like in the Western world, but walking, wearing their actual attires in normal, cultural, natural settings, but all inside the skyscraper of something that wasn't there. But the culture, the wears, the clothes and everything, actually putting them on and doing the job actually in the future.
Amazing. Amazing. Well done. Okay, the 5th person.
I didn't do a sketch because
okay.
Sketch for that. So I wrote a concept.
Okay, good.
As I can be represented in sponsor of him.
Okay.
So I'll just title it for now as preserving traditional value, because in the olden days, okay, to just sum it, now you see that our politics are more into traditional leaders, right? Even, let me say, practically in the state, governors present staff of office to kings, so they have the right to kind of remove the king and to replace one. So that kind of diminishes the traditional value. For example, someone of my first friend told me about a story that that thing, the Agile that looks like knife. Agile, yeah. I said when chiefs dance with it, that thing was not for. Wasn't it for the chief would die? So my concept would be like imagining like a chief dancing with it and use it to create some dancing style, and the culture doesn't happen to him because the value of that, maybe the tradition
has dropped.
So my solution, because you said when you have a problem, so if the traditional rulers don't get involved more in politics, maybe they rely more on the traditional value.
Amazing. It's beautiful because one of the people that kill our culture most are the politicians, because they know that these are the things that tie us together. So they use religion, they use cultural differences and all of those, exactly too, and they buy our royal rulers to themselves. And that's why you see someone, there was a story of, in Yoruba land, there are some kings that they don't regard as king, just like the Oba of Benin. Oba of Benin in Yoruba, whatever, is still a king to us. But in Yoruba land, Oni of Ife is not a king. Oni of Ife is a god. Now, it is a taboo if Oni of Ife decide to marry one lady like this, right? When that lady wants to divorce Oni of Ife, there must be some things that must be removed from her body to make her from a goddess back to woman being before another person can marry all those things. But you come right now, the same thing applies to some other special kings in Yoruba land, like the what they call this Oyo states. That's Oyo, Alaafin of Oyo, Olubadan of Ibadan, Alake, yes, of Egba land. Those are special because they are king of kings. There are other kings under them. They are kings of kings. So they are special people. And you hear stories on social media that their wives went to sleep with other wherever, having concubine before. It's not something that you can even talk about, and it's because the culture has been diluted. Some things have not been done rightly. I've said to myself, if you're a spiritual person and you stick only to one religion, you have no business with the royal or the kingship in any of the African countries. Because when you're a king, you are no more a Christian. You are a Christian, you are a Muslim, you are Islamic, whatever, and you must go through all of those things, except for the one that involve human being killing. That's the one I don't support. But our culture is our culture. We need to learn how to manage our belief and our culture. Our culture is the one that there are some that are not great. For instance, recently I got to know that the killing of the twins that they were talking about that time is not the way they presented to us, and I feel like crying because we've been feeling like these people are wicked or whatever, but it wasn't like that. And I felt so bad when I read that story. I could not even finish it. I feel like crying because growing up, I've known that story that, it's one lady from our brother that stopped the killing. Who are you to stop anything? It was just a narrative that was being pushed to us. It's a big challenge, and we need to actually face it squarely. We need to actually know our value and know what we stand for. Write Bible from Arabic to English. And one of the people that he even commissioned to do that was Shakespeare. So you can imagine. Yet, the version of the Bible is still the most conc and accurate compared to the ones we have. We have more accurate ones, but the one available to us right now is still one of the most close to it than the others. So, and if you're having more versions coming up and some things are being removed, practically now, there are some verses and chapters that are being removed completely from some of the Bible. Why are they removing these things? We are targeted because we are blessed. And when we are, it's only someone that has something that they can steal from. If you don't have anything, they will not steal from you. It's only when you have something to offer, that's when they can steal from you. We need to embrace it. See, I'm telling you today, there is nothing that you want to achieve in this life that is fixed to any country. Except there are some people that are led to leave their place. Because me, I've been led before. I was led to leave my own place and move to Abuja. I didn't just start Abuja is fine. No. I'm a spiritual and a deliberate person. And when I moved to Abuja, I didn't just come and say, I'm in Abuja now, let me do things. I spent 8 months indoor creating art, targeting the market. I came in deliberate and passionately. I practically printed the people that are controlling the art market in Abuja on an A4 paper. My bed, I was living in a room self-contained. My bed, the roof of my bed is asbestos like this. I stick these people's picture on this thing and wrote some things under them. What they carry, what they have, what made them matter in that industry, and how to penetrate them. All of them now, they are my friends. All of them now consult me. All of them now, we do projects together. All of them now, they reckon with me. You have to be deliberate. We have maybe 1 million artists right now. So you have to be very deliberate. I say it's a sin for a young person like you to start your year just like that. Just wake up and enter the year. You must have plans. If you want to do residency this year, it should be on your plan. Not that someone just say residency day or we go day. If you want to do exhibitions, it must be on your plan. How do you spend your December? For me, from 2012 to date, there is no December that I don't do retreats. And that's the reason for most of my early travels. I travel outside Nigeria, sometimes Cameroon, sometimes Benin Republic, sometimes Kenya, to just be away and plan for the year. I am a deliberate person. The reason why I am here today was not because I want to speak. I have been speaking low-key. I'm not a very loud person if you are close to me, but because I know I hold this generation my own bits of truth. And this vision here, Antmen, I believe they are going to be big. So one day, I want to be part of their success story. That's the reason why I'm here. So we have to be deliberate. A lot of money I didn't spend for this residency. I'm sure, I don't need to be told. It's an investment. Your success is the result of that investment. If I train you, for instance, the boys I train, I tell them, I don't need to buy me a car, I don't need to buy me a house, I don't need to give me money when you sell your work. You doing well and be passionate and be deliberate. Deliberate is the reason why black art will be raining at the time and you to just leave what you are doing and just go and join them. Abstract painting is what is raining, you just dump your work and go and do abstract. And that thing is raining, you just run and do it. Deliberate is knowing what you want per time and doing it rightly. I said it again, It is a sin for you to enter a year without proper planning. Take a week break, 2 days break, 1 day break. Think about what you've been doing before. Think about how much you can put to add value to what you are doing now. Artwork is beyond just painting and putting on the wall. If you want to get the real value of art, you must put effort, and that effort comes from deliberate actions to your craft. Your craft is not the one that they want to give you commission. You now write 2 tubes of oil paint, 1 tube of acrylic, workmanship, 7,000 naira. It's not. I don't ever write workmanship in anything that concerns me, because there's nothing like workmanship. I am the workmanship itself. Value. I tell myself, I took German sponsored GIZ project. Bimbo was there. I told them, they asked a question of pricing, and I told them, I don't have a fixed whatever for pricing. But as an artist, who knows what he's doing? If what it will take you to produce, especially away from sculptors, because sculptors are not doing their own WhatsApp group at all. So I can't speak for you guys. But for others, 10% of whatever you want to charge should be what you should use for your material, at least. And it goes down to even 1% for some persons as you grow. So you're not writing workmanship to 50,000. This one is because you don't know your value. You are not just someone you're not a artisan. There's a difference between artist and artisan. You are a special being. You're a mediator. You are a messiah. And you can only see it if you yourself see yourself as a messiah. I told you when I started in Utopia 2022 fully, my sales dropped by over 50%. A normal person that has family, that have responsibility, I have people that pay their school fees a lot, they're not even related to me. And I have to pay bills. We want to go back to what I'm doing before and come and be receiving my money. I know they do again. But yet I kept on doing it more and more and more. Because to get a gold, you don't just come and sit on the floor. You have to dig deep. And when you dig deep and you get to a particular, I saw in an illustration many years ago on social media too. I love it so much. 2 guys were digging to the wall. And one was digging and he saw that his neighbor that was digging before saw gold. Maybe this size. I didn't dig so much. Like, hey, he has been digging. And he was close to getting a very large gold. And he left it and he went to this guy's place and beside it and started digging his own there again. That is what many artists do these days. So say, I've not been selling now. Some of them I even buy their work off. I have a lot of collections. I think I was showing Richard my collections a couple of days ago in Abuja. Some of them, not because I'm connected to the artwork, I buy art that I'm connected to. No matter how you are close to me, I only buy art that I'm connected to. But some of them, I buy them because just to encourage them. Because, guy, don't feel depressed. When you are cashing out, you will not feel depressed. You will even forget that you ever suffered in your life. But you can only get there when you have true value for your heart. The old folks will come and tell you this, tell you that, tell you, be dedicated, do it like this. I don't usually come and tell you, carry your brush like this, carry your brush like this. You have done your assignments. Whatever you are doing now, this is you. Me coming to come and tell you, is telling you to come and be me. And I can't tell you to come and be me. That's why I don't correct you or accept you do exactly my kind of heart. And I thought, okay, for you to achieve this, whatever, yes. But if you do it your way, you have to place the value myself. And gold is precious, but there are other resources that are more precious than gold. And God will make you see them in Jesus' name. Lastly, I did an exhibition in 2018. And that exhibition, were 3 of us exhibiting then. And because I derive joy in speaking about the work, I pay more attention about the storytelling than even the art itself. And I was born a stammerer. So it took me years for me to leave that stage and be able to talk like this. So it is a joy. It's a big joy for me to even be talking. So I was talking about the art going. The first day, 2 of the guys sold two works. They were happy. So second they said, "Oga, no go anywhere because all these guys will come. Now you go to talk." They gave me water again. I took my water. I talked about all my artwork. Then after talking for hours And I finally sat down. And this young, slim girl just entered the space. And like, oh, sorry, I'm just passing by and I had an exhibition going on here. I would love to know about who are the artists. They say, now we be artists. One of the guys said, I will be artists. But these guys have to talk. Let him talk about the work. And like, guy, now I'm tired. Talk. I said, no, now you sabi talk. Go and talk. I'm not saying to bring them down, just proving the point. We're getting there. So I stood up and took the girl around. I said, so sorry, you will not get the best of me because I've been talking for hours, but I would still love to talk about my work. So I was talking about the work, talking about the connection and everything. And after the work, like, wow. Do you know I've never seen this work in this perspective before? Whatever. Sincerely, I don't have money to buy any of your artwork. But there's something I have I can give to you. And I say, what? So don't worry. But if you can permit me to just snap your work, I say, you are here already now. Snap your work. And the lady was snapping. Oh, is this your work too? Oh, hey. And I said, oh, thank you very much. Anyway, my name is so whatever. Oh, bye-bye. And she left. A few hours later, the lady came back. He said, hi, Kolapo, can I see you? I just went and said, okay. So after I left here, the lady is actually a model in Dubai. And she has met a lot of persons. So she snapped this work and sent it to a couple of her friends abroad. And from those persons sent it to, it got to the chairman of IBM Computers in the whole of Middle East. And that guy bought out the whole of the 26 works in millions. That is not all. That is not all. He asked me that since I narrated everybody's work, that lady was also recording me. Sometimes I didn't know while I was narrating. Say, which work that do I feel is the strongest among my friends that exhibited with me that you should buy? And I say all. And I say, hey, slow down. You're trying to be polite and be nice. So I will not do that. So give me one word from them. So I picked the works, the most expensive from their works, and I bought it. Now this guy said, I'm not in Nigeria. The works are still with me, and they have paid all the millions. That's the first time I received an alarm instead of an alert on my phone. When they were saying everything, it's still looking like this is not real. Until I just said, "Pak, pak, pak," and like, hey! I called home, say I am made. You know, if I lied not to you. I could not sleep all through that night till the next day. Every person that called me is a suspect to my phone. Everybody that knocked my door is a suspect. So I have never seen such money in my life before. Now, do you know this guy spoke with me again the next day, and he said, I love the narration. I would love to buy more of your work. I believe you hold a very strong position in the future, and I'm buying works for the future. Now, I told him I don't have any work. I brought all the works I have for the exhibition. He said, let's go to your studio. Someone gave me a commission of Wole Soyinka. That time, I think it was 80,000 naira. The person commissioned me to do the Wole Soyinka drawing. So I was doing the drawing. I started from here, the hair of Wole Soyinka, and I stopped here. That guy bought the work like this to this place, like that. I had a work that I primed. I did the background and I did the sketch. This guy said, I said, it's a work I want to do, so something like about this blah, 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 blah. I said I should write the story behind the work and leave the sketch. He bought it. He bought practically everything that is, I became MC. So imagine, and he wanted to buy more. Now this guy invited me to Dubai. From the point he came to pick me with that beautiful car that I've never seen in my life, to the point where he gave me Dubai tour, I was so excited. It gave me a very big treat. And finally, when I visited his house to come and see my artwork on his wall, I got there and I discovered that none of my artwork was hanging on his wall. At first, I felt bad, like, So this guy don't do the bobo me ever since. I don't know, say this thing. And the guy took me to where they work with when he opened the safe. And I saw my work hanging in a special crate in the special AC store. I'm like, why? He said, these are values. I only buy the works I buy cheap. And this one, I bring my special guests to come and see them. Yeah. And I feel like, wow. So why am I standing in the midst of masters? He said, because I see you as a future master. Now, imagine me having 50 works, 70 works. You know how many millions I'll be cashing out? So the sort of people that feel that, okay, I produced 7 works. They never buy one. I say, I bet let me rest. Let's set this 7 for works before you. Keep doing it. I say I have contact to sell works, yet I have over 60 works of myself in my studio now. That singular event changed my mindset about working. Don't work because you are waiting for sales. Work down as if you are going to die soon and you need to put some legacy behind. So make them as, you will not die in Jesus' name, but make them as much as you can. When I am sad, I go to the studio to paint. When I'm happy, I'm unable to paint much, but I still go there to paint. When I'm confused, I paint more. If you check this, my sketch pad, these are artwork. These are what I'm going to sell soon. Everywhere I go to, when I meet people, when I have impression about things, I sketch them with biro, sometimes with charcoal. And this is not just a sketch pad. This is a diary. I write about them. You see when I start writing. You see, it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be you. Now, when we were coming, Kido was asking me why I drew this. When I told him the story of how this came to be, he was surprised. Oh, I have a couple of cars. So this particular car, I think he entered that car recently. This car means a lot to me, not because there's a good story, but it was a bad story that turned to good. Someone puts a ring in his hand like this and touched me and made me buy this car. It was a bad car with bad engine, bad gear, and I did not test it. He just touched me and said, buy this car, you have the money, call. I said, I only have 1 million in my account. He said, call. I want to buy it for 1.4. Call and get 400,000 extra. And I started calling people, give me 100,000, give me 200,000. And I bought the artwork. And I felt so bad. And I tried to involve police, and at the end of the day, my mind just told me, make a good story out of this bad story. So I decided to forgive the guy, let go of the guy, pay for another engine, pay for another gear, pay for another everything, and made the car come back to life. And this has been my favorite car because all my other cars cannot carry this one. This car just carried 10 feet by 5 feet artwork for me on Saturday. This car has been doing some rugged things. I drive this car more than ever other. I don't want to mention how many cars, but I have cars more. This car is a Pontiac vibe. It's my favorite car. Now, you'll see, this is the last residency I went for in Takwa Bay. This is the space this is the space they gave to me to do this thing. I don't take weed, I don't take smoke, I don't drink, but they kept this thing in front of me all through this. And I was wondering why. I don't they take alcohol. Why do you leave this wine open up in front of me? So it became an image for me. I was seeing something else from it. This is, some of you may know this artist that drew this on my sketch. This is the first and only person I've ever drawn anything about this. Elizabeth. Yes, she's a friend. We did the residence together. She drew on my sketch pad here. She did this too. This is her while we're eating. So I create events and I write about them shortly. This is when I did a video call. I was away outside the country and I did a video call with my son. And I wrote about the experience, the feeling, what he was telling me. The cup at the residency I went for. I was saving water, blah, blah, blah. There's something connected to it. I don't want to go take us through. And the people that I met, like this lady I met, she believed that abortion should be legalized. So when I meet you, I make you talk to me and tell all of these things. While you're talking, I'll just do like this and I'm sketching you. And everything you tell me, but I'll not write it when you are there. You go first, then I'll not write it about it. So it's about their backstories to all of these things. So it might feel as if it's just sketch, but over time, these are the things that will matter. Imagine, I'm sure this is over 30 of them and 30 artworks already. See, this lady, she was pregnant when she was 14, and they forced her to go and live with her baby father. And she doesn't love the guy. But the reason why, after interviewing her, the reason why she doesn't love the guy is because all the friends around her don't like that guy. And they've been poisoning her. In fact, this lady, who's her friend, was telling her to poison the guy in Yoruba, not knowing that I'm a Yoruba person. Yeah, it is that bad. So when she was talking, I was just sketching her. And all of this thing, in fact, most of them look like exactly like the person. So, and I write about it. She has seen this part, but she didn't see this part. These are background stories. See, background story of people. This was the person from Vanguard newspaper that interviewed me last. And while he was talking, all of the things he was saying to me. I documented them, everything. Enjoy the heart, live in the heart. And when there's too much of rules, it's no more heart. Do you believe that? Your art, your style must be one. Who says so? We're in the new age. It should not be more than 2, 3. Yes. It should not be everywhere. Yes. But ideas are rolling everywhere. And you want to be containing yourself. They say it's only one style I must be doing. The only thing I tell people is that your style A and style B must be related to each other. They can see elements of style A in style B and style C if you have C. And you can choose to stick to one. Let anybody enter and see, this is so person. But we are just like movie makers. If I'm doing movie and I'm doing Sophia in London kind of, or I'm doing love story every time. Whenever I want to bring out movie again, is it not love story is going to give to us again? The same thing to our hearts. You can't be doing something the same for hundreds of years. Modify things, elements, atom. There's a close friend of mine as an artist that, even though I collect art, I have never collected his art because since I know him, he's still the same thing. People are appreciating it for him. But for me, it's not a deal. I've not seen any progression. I've not seen that. I bought work in 2005 and I brought 2025 and I'm seeing the same. It's just like, okay, this is a male, this is a female, this one is behind, this one is. Let me see progress. I should see progress. I should see things about you. When there's too much of, I repeat again, when there's too much of rules, there's no more heart. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. Yes, there's standard for everything. Meet up the standard. Be consistent, but let there be evolution and a track record from year to year. Before I moved to Utopia, I was doing artwork with science already in it. So Utopia is also science linking to it, like that, like that, like that. Do you understand? Thank you very much. And this is where I stop for today. So I'll just take questions.
Sorry, I'll be louder. Yes, please. Yes. You talked about your faith as a Christian, okay, and we being true to our origins and culture. So my question is, how far is too far, and where does one draw the line between, one's faith, either as a Christian or a Muslim, from, our traditional origins?
Okay, thank you. Amazing question. I'm happy you're asking the question because it's one of the questions I wanted to ask you guys if you're not asking me. So thank you for bringing it on board. As I said to you, when I was in Zambia, I visited some cultural consultants and the so-called witches. I visited them, and there was a point whereby we were having conversations about the beads and the tattooing of the beads on their waists. And they wanted to take me in to show me the waists. They still have a couple of them that still practice that tattooing on the waist to represent the beads. And my strength failed me to follow them in. That's one. Two, from the mindset I had about witches from Nigeria, I wasn't really, I was keen to know what they have to offer, but at the same time, I was still being skeptical. Let me give you an instance. Most of the persons that hosted me in Zambia, they practice what they call African religion. But there's a particular Zambian name they give to it, whereby the first week of my stay, the curator of Modzi Art Gallery in Zambia was the one hosting me that particular time. And around 2 a.m. in the middle of the night, I was sleeping and I was just hearing, so I was wondering what's happening. I thought someone was watching African Magic, but I remember in that house of the residency I went for, the house I was staying, they made sure there's no radio, there's no TV, there's no internet. So you are detached from the external world. So I know nobody's watching a movie. So it should be. So I came out of my room and I was searching what was happening. I didn't see anybody in the living room. Then I smelled some incense burning. So I followed the smell and I went to her room and I saw that she was the one doing all of this thing. As a Christian, coming from a place of Nigeria that I've watched several African magic movies that have pictured African culture and African religion in a particular way, I was scared. But knowing the things I've I get to find out in the course of my research days before that time, I wasn't really that scared also. So what I did was to just watch her, open the door, saw her doing it, then went back to the living room and sat for a few minutes to calm myself from the fear. Then I entered my room and I slept. So waking up the next morning when she came out and she was making coffee for me and we had a conversation, I said, okay, I have to come clean to you. You really scared the hell out of me yesterday. What was happening yesterday? Tell me about it. I was like, okay, I told you I worship, I do African religion, right? This is me having communication with the ancestors, like a prayer. And for you to get into that, you burn incense. As I'm talking to you right now, I burn incense in my house every day. That I have to find out about incense burning, the spirituality part of it, the physical part of it, the things about it. And I discovered that, okay, from outset, because I'm from Yoruba place and incense burning is attached to some kind of spiritual things. And they made it like spiritual things are bad things. But spiritual things are spiritual things. You must consult to something in this world. There's nobody that doesn't believe in anything. Just that our belief level is different. We believe in one thing. Either you believe in science, you believe the world doesn't exist, it's just science. You still believe in one thing. And there is a way we consult what we believe. I am a believer of Christ, but that doesn't make the traditional worshippers less of people. And that doesn't make their own religion fake. We are all attaching to one God, but the means is different. I 100% am I sure that the me that think I am upright, I'm doing the right thing, and when I get to the heaven that we all want to go to, and I find out that, okay, maybe I'm not the perfect person getting the right religion, or they are the perfect person. I don't know until we get there. But from here, we should allow everybody to do the things, believe in what you believe, and create a boundary. Now, the boundary is getting myself involved. You know, there's some things we subscribe to, and there's some things that are by default we attach to. I got married to a tribe, someone from the tribe they're called Igala. Igala people have a particular tradition. They call it, how am I forgetting terms today? Now, there is a very big structure of idol in Igala land of a person that is extremely fat and Ibeju, that's the name of it. Listen, Ibeju is a structured thing. Now, me as a man that is married to my wife, if my wife goes out and cheats on me, and I find out that this lady is cheating on me, and because I feel I love her, I don't want her to be disgraced, and I keep quiet, in 7 days of finding out, I'm going to die. Now, me being a Christian, doesn't detach me, or she being a Christian doesn't detach her from that. Yes. She being born from that home, from that tribe, from that tradition, automatically you are already subscribed to it. Yes. So you don't need to be a Christian or to whatever to I'm a Christian. I don't believe in those things. Don't say that. You are putting yourself in the trap. So she coming from that family and from that tribe alone, already subscribe her for it. So the day I find out, God will never let that happen. But if that happens, I must go to our elders and tell them what I find out. Now they have to do some rites on her for me not to die. I'm not the one that did it, but these are the things that we subscribe for. Now, and I feel like because I'm spiritual, I'm Christian, no, nothing will happen to me. No, you're attached to it. So while I was doing my research, I made sure that where my spirit don't carry me, I take a step back. Because when I subscribe to some things, because for instance, they have to take me to a particular building where they perform their rituals and everything. And before I can do that, in Yoruba, there's something they call Oro. They have to do Oro for you. But for you to see the Oro standing anywhere, they have to do some spiritual whatever for you to be able to see it as a man. But as a woman, you can't see Oro. The same thing for me to enter that house, for me to see the things they want to expose me to. I need to do some things. They may not even need to take anything. They may just give us any cash with you. Me putting my cash in their hands, I've already subscribed. So when I live there, I'm living with I'm not living like the usual person I came as. So I'm living with extra baggage. So I have to prepare for those things. And I'm not sure I was mentally and physically fit for that. And that's why I have to cut my journey at that spot. you don't believe in one thing doesn't make it invalid. At the same time, that doesn't stop your research or practice. One of the things I found out recently too is the fact that mask generally has been attached to spirituality and ritual, but there are some marks that are assigned for ritual purpose. There are some masks that are assigned for aesthetics, and there are some that are symbolic, like the Ikenga, the first male child, they have the Ikenga. Every male child have their own Ikenga, right?
Yeah.
Just as we have other masks that symbolizes your cultural heritage, your family, and all of those things. That doesn't make them, they might be spiritual, but that doesn't make them evil. Now, I have a particular wall in my house that from the beginning to the end of the wall, they are just masks. So when I gave birth to my son and we called the pastor to come and do this thing, and the pastor came in and the pastor like, oh God, say, can we remove? And I said, sir, this is my house. These are my artworks. They are artworks. They are not whatever. No, how do you pray in this place? I said, I pray and everything work. So he wasn't feeling comfortable and he wanted me to pray. And I said, pastor, you have two options. Either you go out. I have my guys here that can stand as a pastor and name my child and you go get out. Or you continue your whatever. I did not remove it. Because I have to respect the fact I'm African before a Christian. I'm first an African. I'm first human, then an African before become me Christian or Muslim or choosing all of those things. You understand what I mean? So I said these artworks are going to be staying there. And I still have a lot of collections. Yes, there are some of them I found out that they are spiritual. And I put them in a spiritual place like my studio, not in my house. But when you dig, one thing about us is we don't research, we don't dig deep, we don't read. And they tag us Africans that we don't read. So they say they can add things inside book and we'll not find it. I don't think so again though. But we should know, don't just ask questions. Don't just say things and just believe. Ask questions, go deep, understand things. Right? Okay, so have I answered your question, sir?
So a great extent, sir.
Okay, so which extent do you want me to answer more so that I can?
I'll follow up later.
Okay, thank you. So any other question?
Number 2.
Okay.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tosin. Thank you for the whole presentation. My question is related to what he asked, but in another sense.
Okay.
I'm an artist that documents history. I document my cultural stories, background of sorts. But the way I document this is based on my own personal research.
Okay.
I'm a kind of person that anything you tell me, I don't believe until I do my own research. So now, majority of the stories that we have been told while growing up, during my research, I discovered that they are lies.
Yeah.
And I'm a Christian, just like he has said. Based on Yoruba now, because I'm a Yoruba guy, I discovered that we have over 401 religion.
Yeah.
And during this research, what I want to do with my art is to document them one after the other, which I'm already doing. Now, I had an exhibition early this year. I documented part of it, which was Ori. Ed is one of the Yoruba gods.
Yeah.
Now, people relate with the work, but seeing the work in the first instance, they did not really relate to it until I tell the story. Because the elements I use in my work are more contemporary than the stories, because the stories are more of old stuff, histories, something like that. They want it to be in that kind of old stuff of a thing. And me, I'm going into a contemporary and into future stuff, because right now I'm not even seeing it the way people are seeing it anymore. People are just saying, you just start this kind of style. Why want to drop it and move to another thing?
Yeah.
My own question is this now. How do you think I can go about it? Because sometimes it gives me a headache. I already started working in that other realm. It's more of mixed media, because if you see my art, you think it's a digital art at some point, or you see it's something I generate. Some people are using AI to generate your characters, or no, it's something I draft out. So now I want to move from that to a more of, let me say, installation or something that is crazy, but at the same time still telling these stories, because they are more of me telling the real truth. Because at some point I don't know where I stand. But after discovering the truth about all these things, so I don't know if you can help me out on that.
Okay. Amazing work you're doing. Well done. I like the fact that you understand the fact that over time so many stories have been told about Africans and Africa that are not true. We've talked about a couple of them. For instance, they said one of the tallest and the longest wall of a city is the Great of China. And we know Benin walls are way bigger. But because we didn't document all of those things, and that's the reason why they feel China is bigger. Do you know, I was reading a research paper from some guys in the US, and they say they just discovered a new material for constructions, and the material can beat the test of time. And I'd love to know that. And they say it's clay and dry grasses. Are like, what we don't they use? What was Benin wall built with? The same material. But because we didn't document them, then they are trying to claim it. So our responsibility is to reclaim our identity, reclaim our culture. People don't need to see the way you want them to see it right now. You just need to keep doing it. And you need to, it's better for you to drag people to your side than for you to drag yourself to people. They appreciate you more when you drag them to come and see you where you are. You understand? Just know that whatever you're doing right now, put your effort into it. Don't let it just be at the surface. Art research is deeper than even medicine sometimes, because you will step on people's toes. You will do things that people will not want you to even go. They'll tell you don't go there. There was a time I was relating with a curator in Zimbabwe, and they were like, hey, don't go there, don't go there, don't go there. The people that will sponsor this thing that are foreigners, the German-based organizations, they will not want to fund this. If you put limitation on your project, on your work, then you will not get the best out of it. Just stay focused to it and make sure that everything you do is properly documented, because artists will just paint and think it's just only painting. Documentation is as important as the painting. Documentation includes even your signature, the date. I learned one thing from Dr. What's his name again in Lagos? Dr. Ogunwo, Bolaji Ogunwo. He said, don't write your signature on your artwork. I agree to that. He said, put the exact date you finish the work. I am opinion the year is okay, but exact date, keep good record to show that, in fact, if someone is trying to, I've seen some people replicate my work and sign. I don't get angry because it shows that I'm doing something good. Yeah, I don't get angry. But what to make people understand the fact that I am the real person that did that research and did that work is the fact that if I write the exact dates and this person is writing 2025 when I've done something 2015, you understand? You can actually keep record. And don't do exhibition without catalogs. Don't do exhibition without. We do that in Nigeria a lot these days, and I find it somehow ridiculous. Like, okay, why do you do exhibition? Is it for only sales? Exhibitions. When I was reading a particular book in France, and they were talking about the origin. I don't know how true it is. They said the first exhibition was in France. I don't know how true that narrative was. And the intention was the fact that artists paint in the studio, and they wanted to show what they were doing. And they sell in the studio too. They invite collectors come to their studio, like, I want to commission you because it was realistic artists that were reigning that time. I want to commission to paint me, to do this one, to that one. So, like, okay, I'm doing work away from commissions. Let me see how I can let people see this. And that was how the first exhibition was out there. And the intention was not for sales. It is when galleries start springing up and getting exhibition into galleries that sales, because the gallery have to make money. So with that narrative, the intention of exhibition was not for sales. That's why you do exhibition and you not do catalog, you not document it. Documentation also even take you to as far as doing newspaper publications, writing books. Artists are supposed to be writing books. So you're doing a project at the time. You should be writing a book about it, writing things about it. And there are materials to make it easier. People that are doing research 10, 15 years ago, it was very hard. In fact, when I started doing research, I was robbed a couple of days ago and I lost my iPhone. I just got a new one. And transiting from that old pack of iCloud to this one, I saw some pictures I took long ago, many years ago, when I started this idea of science and arts. And some pictures I also took while I was away in other African countries. And I saw some quality things that I have even forgotten. So imagine I put them into writing. I write them out, put them into, even as much as, I showed you my sketchpad the other time, how I do like a, what they call it, record keeping, like diary. I draw and I write about what it is I saw or I experienced. You should keep record of all of these things. You can see this sketchpad you are seeing in my hand, because I know how important it is. It is the same as someone is holding something similar, black, like this. It was you, right? Because, oh, can I see that sketchpad you are holding? This is the exact sketchpad. But when I bought this sketchpad, I know this one will not last a year before that. It's not a real leather, it's a paper actually, and it will tear. And I know the importance of what is going to be inside of this. And I intend to keep this for as long as 100 years. I made sure the sketchpad is on acid free, and I removed that cover and I made my own cover on top so that it would beat test of time. Because I want this to be a record. The same way we should keep record of our work. If there's a record about you, about your narrative, your whatever, over time people will be able to. As we're trying to reclaim African identity, you should also claim your own identity too.
Yeah, I'm doing that, but it's giving me issues sometimes.
Okay.
Because, okay, now, personally, I'm working on a project based on Egungun.
Egungun, yeah?
Yeah, religion. And at the same time, I have a personal story I want to tell as well. So the two things are and there are two different things now, and I want to make it one.
Okay, which part of your story do you want to tell?
Yeah, it's about because last year it was a very tough year for me and my family, and I discovered that it's not only my family that such things happen. It's a general story. So I want to talk about that, but I don't know how to play about it. Because
it's easy.
Now, people that are following me now, that are following my art now, they are seeing me doing more of documenting cultural identity. They are not seeing me talking about my own identity. I don't know if you get that.
Yes, I get it.
So now I want to be doing the two at the same time. I don't know if it makes sense.
Yes, it makes sense. I understand you. You know, as an artist, I there's one thing I do. Ideas flows in continuously, but that doesn't mean you should do everything at the same time. What I do is I have another sketch pad, but I don't write in that sketch pad. I don't draw. I only write in that sketch pad. When an idea comes to my head, I write here first. But over the years, I discovered that something can happen to this book. So instead, I create an iCloud note and I type. So if I finish Utopia, I tend to spend 10 years on Utopia. If I finish Utopia, 3 years gone, 7 years to go. So if I finish Utopia, what I'm going to do after Utopia is already down. So you don't need to do everything now. Keep it as a project that will take, you understand? I said it, as an artist, I don't know who's giving a lot of rules that you must do this way, you must do that way. The first audience that you need to satisfy with your work is you. Yeah. What will people say? What people do? I have a lot of things I want to tell to the world before I go. And yes, I have to take them one at a time. Because I put a lot of importance into Utopia, that's why I'm giving it 10 years. Some are going to be for a year, 2, 3. So write it in detail. As more ideas is coming to that one, go back to and update that particular writer. Prepare this thing. For someone like me, how I do my series is this. I do a mock-up because my early years, I do a lot of 3D animations, a lot of comic drawings, a lot of 2D, 3D, a lot of graphic design. So I do a mock-up of what I want to see in my canvas down. So as I'm writing, as the idea is coming, I go back, design it, put some elements together. And we have AI too. We are very good with prompts. Prompt to give you something close, then you now edit to fit it. The work I'm going to be doing after 10 years of Utopia, I already have image of them down now. And I still have 7 years to go. Prepare it as it's coming to be refining it for you so that when you start, you have full idea about it. And I said earlier on, the first audience you need to satisfy with your work. It's you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Valentine Igbo. My name is Valentine Igbo. So my question is this: how How do we relate our culture and identity, what we actually want to talk about, to the global world? There's this narrative I have that people don't understand what they can't relate to. You understand? You tell people stories, you tell people about a particular thing. But about storytelling, if you don't put someone in the shoes to actually perceive things the way you are, there's a high chance that you don't understand it. So how do we actually make our work to place people who see our work in the place and position where we are perceiving things?
Okay. Two things I'll say to you. First, similar to what I said to him, bring people from Germany, let them come and enter into your world. I'll give you an instance. Fela was one of the greatest artists we've ever had in Nigeria. Have you heard Fela speak good English to sing in any of his songs? Pidgin English. And people, most of his audience are whites, are foreigners. The same thing to his children right now. Femi Sheung, and Femi's son again. Mide, yes. Kuti. They are all singing just like their father. And if I ask to sing some of their songs now, you will not be able to sing there because we don't really appreciate them here. But outside there, they do. Bring them. The same thing. When I went to Paris, they pointed Asha Studio to me. And you see how people cherish and value Asha's song. And she sings with Yoruba song. In fact, she speaks French fluently. But I've never listened to any of her French songs before. Any. I don't think there is any. I don't know. But I'm a fan of Asha, so I think I should know if there's a song. So if people put more value into your work when you bring them into your world. You know, this international or world influence is what make people, you know, our artists, I don't want to, let me mention him. Someone like Wizkid at the time, he was going down like this because he started getting international recognition and he wanted to start singing like them. So he started changing his lyrics, started changing his tone, and he started losing value because the people that the reason why they like you is because you are African. They want you to tell it in Africa. They are seeing a lot of European artwork everywhere. So they want a breath of fresh air. So they want something new, something they've not seen before. So the reason why accepting you and making you, nominating you for Grammy and all of these things you show you are getting is because you are you. So when you want to start, at the time in my life, I discovered that most of my collectors were white. At the time I started putting white models into this thing and it started declining. It's not something I'm just saying from experience. I had to go back to my roots and okay, let me embrace it. So the only way you can tell your story is to tell it your way and the original way that it's supposed to be. That's the way they embrace you. At the end of the day, if you try to please them, you'll be lost in the crowd. Trust me. I hope I answered your question right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So for those persons that said to be progressive, do we have more questions? Okay, I know Ogo, we have a question. Okay, let's go on.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good
again.
afternoon.
So, my question is relating to style. You talked about how in the present day, having one style is not really sustainable, or how you should have two or three, like they should just shall combine. So basically, I'm speaking from experience. I I have a lot of ideas that are very different but similar in the same way. Like the earrings that I make, the plastic waste, the fashion pieces, and the painting as well. So how, because I went for a portfolio review and they were like, I should just make sure that they're cohesive, no different, they should all like fall in the same category. They should be the same form of art.
Yeah.
But I want to tell my story and tell how vast I am, my ideas, how crazy, not crazy, sorry, that's,
Okay.
but how very diverse they are. And I know that it's not really something that everybody will be able to understand and relate with because people are used to singularity in portfolios and in terms of presentation. So I want to know how to go about it as a multifaceted artist that has ideas running every single day. They are very different. Sorry. So how do I do that?
Okay. I think what I would do is when I get to Abuja, I'll send a document to either Richard or any of the team to share with you guys. I wrote a book about style and I decided not to publish that book. Instead, print it and give to a couple of my guys to read because I feel I've not reached that level that I am fit to publish that book yet. It will not make grand impacts. Yes, until I have the voice that is strong enough to drop it and everybody will listen. Now, one of the things I talk about is in the book, majorly, is style. And the style I spoke about. Do you know what we call style right now is one of the issues artists are having right now. I want to have a style for myself. I want to have my style for myself. And I broke down styles into different ways. Now, if you're a sculptor, and you sculpt this, and you sculpt that, sculpture is not your style. Different artists. Unfortunately, inside the book right now, all the artists I use are foreign artists. Yeah, there are a couple of them from Asia. I'm in love with Asian art these days. Asia, especially China and Japan and India. And a couple of them are from the US, the Europe, and all of those things. Now, I'll give you a few of them to explain what style is so that you understand, have a better knowledge of what style is. I believe your style can be one, but working in series. Yes. Your style can be one and working in series. And if I go back to what I said earlier, if you do sculpture is not your style. It's just a medium. So we'll get there. Now, there's a particular lady that out of all of those people I wrote about, her story is different. She's French. Now, this lady is in her 60s or 70s now. Her style is painting. She does installation and paintings. That's what she does. I want to remember her name. I can't. I don't know why I'm forgetting things today. But all the men she has ever slept with in her life, she paints them. So when you're coming for an exhibition, you need to come and see a new man that she stepped with. She write the date and the time and the event that led to the sex, and she will not paint the person so realistic for you to get the identity of the person, but she will write about the person and she will show the scene, what led to it, how they met, and everything. And it comes in painting, watercolor, installation, and everything. She's so big now. She owns one of the biggest residency space in the whole of France. Now, that's one. There's another guy that does painting. In all of his painting, they are all in tones of red. So anything you want to talk about, it will stop flowing in front of that red is the identity, the style. There's another guy, he has no constant style. Today he will paint what they call it, abstract. Tomorrow we paint this one. So for every of the piece, there's none of them that look alike. And that's his style too. It's a valid style. So the worst style sometimes make us get lost. Instead, have an identity that you stick to. Like for me now, everything about me is science inspired. Science inspired. I have sculptural pieces. Someone here in this building is one of the people that behind my sculptural pieces. I have sculptural pieces, I have installations, I have paintings, I have coffee works, I have charcoal, I have this thing. It's just that I am very good at image making. For now, the image I'm portraying to the world is painting. I have all the charcoals, all of these things in it. So when I'm done with painting, I'll now move again for you to be saying this because I'm controlling your direction, the way you look at me. I'm as if you're carrying the camera, the way this guy is with the camera, I just carry the lens and be controlling it. So you're still like this. So I control my image. Now, you may have all of this identity. Pick something that is attached to you, that is known to you. You must see African mask in my work. You must see science inspiration in my works. You must see those two things. It's constant in everything. That is my style. So your style is sometimes like, he uses a brush or whatever. Do you know one of the artworks I love when I entered this place was this work? If this guy keep painting this one, and in 10 years and I come and I see him still, let's say 10 years still short, let's say 15 years I come, I will not buy. And one of the things that helped me most as an artist is the fact that I did not just start as just being an artist. When I make money, when I sell art, I still use the art money to buy art again. I collect. And so I see works in two perspectives, as an artist and as a collector. So I can boldly tell you, oh, I have collections of people that it took me a year for me to pay complete. I was paying instrumental as if I bought a land, I am indebted. It's an artwork because I know its value over time. It's an investment. At the same time, I'm in love with work, and there's a particular exhibition I went to. Immediately I entered, I saw that piece. I did everything. I slept that night. I was seeing the artwork. I woke up next day, that artwork. I had no choice than to go back to the exhibition and pick up the artwork. That's how powerful art can be. Be truthful to yourself. Be truthful to your craft. Also, define what you want. You can't be for everything. Everybody talking about cultural identity, cultural this one. Nobody wants to talk about what the prostitutes. It's a topic that someone should talk about too. Yeah. Nobody wants to talk about pollution. Someone should be talking about that too. No one wants to talk about abortion. Someone should be talking about it. So there's so many things. All of us should not be at the particular African identity, African future, African. There's even so much about African apart from our cultural identity that should be talked about. A guy, the last time there was, let me say the last point before I round up. There was recently, they had the first edition of African in Venice and Paris and this African this exhibition I was supposed to go for. I think it's not an exhibition. African. So let me get the name. It's like Binali. It's like Binali African. It happened in France. It happened in Venice. Thank you, African. Thank you. And there's a particular artist from I think it's from Zimbabwe or South Africa that works majorly with passports. Why will it really be easy for you to get passport and entrance visa into Africa, but not to the other countries? And it's talking about African countries using passport to separate ourselves. I want to go to this and I have to get a visa and all of this. That's what his works are majorly passports. No, that's the guy supposed to exhibit in that exhibition, and it was denied visa. And that blew the guy up. That alone was the reason why the guy is big now. Everybody gets to talk about him. It's beautiful. So why is people not talking about that? There's so many things. Why do I have to stay for 3 months before I get my visa? They will hold my passport for 3 months. Like kidnappers. For me to get a UK visa. It's wrong. Why do I have to go to South Africa and apply for visa and delay it for 1 month before I can get my visa? It's wrong. Ghana is here. Why do I have to go to Ghana and I have to tip some people by the borders for me to get across to Ghana? It's wrong. Who said there must be a Ghana and there must be a Nigeria? Who even called us Africa? Is it our name? Did you choose the name ourselves? There's so many things we should talk about. So let's not just all bombard ourselves in a space. There's some things that is ringing in your mind that you need to just give life into and create a scene out of it. You understand? So what you call style may not be style. Yeah. And don't be scared of starting afresh. Maybe you've been talking about, you mentioned that earlier, you've been known for this. If I didn't get the conviction of doing Utopia, there are at least 5 new styles and 2 new projects I need to work on. But I'm going to work on it. We have to wait for 10 years. But they are all related. So I have to define, when I started Utopia, I have to define the duration of Utopia. At first I said 4. I said no. The book has to be volume 1 and volume 2. First 4 years for volume 1, 5th year to launch, then next 4 years again for volume 2, then the 10th year to launch. So 2, you can see everything is planned.
Thank you so much, sir.
So imagine that guy could remove external influence for a short period of time, and their currency value shoots that high. He went to what they call it. He went to Russia and have a conversation. And the first time a leader in Africa went there and said that we don't need your money. We don't need your money. First time. We only go there to talk about how we're going to get a new loan. We don't need your money. We just want you to come and train. So whatever. Train. We have a lot to offer. And we have to start seeing ourselves that way. So when you start feeling, okay, when we bring foreigners into our country, we can get this, we can get that, and it's actually then we might even be some Nigerians going outside because they feel they are in a better place now. They tear their passports and renounce themselves not being Nigerian again. I hope we don't get to the fact that another person will be occupying our space. I told you before, all the propaganda going up and down that say they want to reduce. Bill Gates said it severally that they need to reduce the population of the world. And we are still smiling at him, like we're doing adverts in Nigeria, taking the sponsorship and all of those stuff. What else do we need to know? I don't know. But do you get it right? Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. So, from what you just said now, I'll just urge each and everyone of us to know that the whole change, the whole shift, whatever, it begins individually with each and every one of us. If we are saying it starts with us, think of it personally, like personalized, it starts with me. From taking care of your immediate environment to your intentionality about every other thing, about the next person that is close to you. That is how the change will start. So I'm urging each and every one of us to be intentional about each other. And we've heard him speak a lot today. And he has been hitting on his intentionality, being deliberate. How that he has plans for the next 10 years, he has plans for the next 15 years. It is a wake-up call to those of us in the Gen Z and then the generation beneath to make sure we sit back, strategize. I'm a big preacher of patience. I believe so much that if our generation can be much more patient, much more observant, take our time to watch more, to observe beyond the way we speak, beyond the way we hurriedly act, that a lot of things will change. A lot of things that need to be in place will be in place. So, sir, once again, I want to appreciate you.
Thank you
For honoring our invitation, for being here in Benin City in this creative space because of young creatives like us. We are very honored and we are grateful. So, quickly, we do something. We did it last week for Mr. Imal Silva. We usually follow the pages of our facilitators. So I just want you to help the house, your Instagram handle, so we can really do that.
Okay, my Instagram handle is @Kingdiah, King, no space, DIAH. KINGDIAH, no space. That's my Instagram. The same with Twitter, the same with Facebook, the same with every other social media platform. KINGDIAH. Kingdiah.
Okay, so I don't know, sir. I just want to ask, do we have permissions to message you, right?
Of course, why not?
Okay.
Yeah,
like
of course.
I advised last week, let's send messages, but don't
Don't
stop the person. Send
You can always
messages,
send messages
ask
there.
questions, connect after now, and enjoy the whole thing. So quickly, before we leave, the very special persons in our midst, they are looking fantabulous. They'll just introduce themselves. They did it last week. They are doing it again because we have a different set of audience. So starting from Ogochimere, sorry. Please just introduce yourself.
I think the guest from this is your soul introduce themselves too.
Okay,
I'm from Enugu State, and I'm a recycling artist that makes fashion and canvas paintings in plastic paste. Why repeat that? Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Ogochimere Onyeji. I'm from Enugu State and I make fashion pieces and canvas works from recycled plastic. I'm also a makeup artist as a hobby. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Since the person uploaded them is not here now.
Yeah. Okay, that's all.
Good day, everyone. Hi. My name is Sadiq Abimbola Rukayat, and I'm based in Abuja from Kogi State, Nigeria. I hail from Kogi State, Nigeria. And okay, I'm a painter. I basically use impasto for my paintings for now. I have a flair of storytelling, so we get to know each other better, just as I said last week. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Adams Abba. I'm a painter
currently exploring with mixed media. I'm from Kaduna State, so watch out for me. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tosin Paul Ajayi. I'm a visual artist that explores the theme of mythology and identity using both shapes and both colors. I from Ekiti State, but I base and work from Akure, Ondo State. I graduated from the University of Benin. I studied painting. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Mwachukwu Caleb Chibuike. I'm an artist, first of all, then a sculptor recently, just majored, finishing from Yaba College of Technology. And I'm intrigued by nostalgia and personal idiosyncrasies. So those are the things that I do more of exploration on. So I like to reminisce on past events. So those are my basic themes, and I work with recycled materials also.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Valentine Eguago. I'm a painter, a graduate of Abanikoku Federal College of Education, Owerri. I am from Imo State. I'm based in Lagos. So currently, I'm practicing and exploring abstract realism, using it to talk about my culture. And I'm also a farmer.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Olaoluwa Victor Folabi. I'm from Ekiti State. I'm a sculptor, a graduate from a University of Benin, Ekawa campus. So I explore myself. I set myself with a different medium, metal, wood, fiberglass, but my favorite medium is metal.
Metal.
Thanks.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Okoye Michael Chagozie. I'm from Onitsha, Anambra State. I'm a graduate of University of Benin. I'm a sculptor, and I work with fiberglass, bronze, and so much more material.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Elayo Yakub. I'm a graduate of Federal University, Lafayette, Nasarawa State. I am a painter. I'm from Lagos. Most of my artworks explores the theme of migration, survival, and overcoming reality among Nigerian childs. Thanks.
So these persons that just introduce themselves that look very calm, quiet. You don't want to meet them when they are working. They are very rugged. Like they are dogged with their practice. You can visit when they are in studio practice any of the days, apart from seminar days. To be beautiful to watch them work. I've been learning a lot from them, from the painters, from the sculptors. It has been a beautiful experience with these ones. So we urge you to visit whenever they are working. Thank you. So just quickly before we go, I still want to appreciate some special persons that stayed with us throughout the seminar. Maureen Collins, Odinaka of OD Real Art. Okay, also we have Dr. Angela Wellman, Ashara Ekundayo, Ogochukwu Ejiofor, Program Manager, Angels and Muse. Please let's thank them. They've been amazing. They've stayed with us throughout the event, and I just hope that it has been impactful to each and every one of them. And then before we go, we have the very creative director of Antmen Studios of Art, Mr. Richard Osegunoya. You're welcome, sir. It's beautiful to have you here. And then I also want to appreciate my fellow custodians. Our financial secretary, Mr. Samuel, is around. Our curator, Mr. Ikilo, is also around. Our social media manager, Mr. Arizona Passion, is also around. And then my humble self, wife of favor, a sculptor and a studio administrator for Antmen Studios of Art. I greet you all. So just quickly before we go, I just want to prepare our minds for next session. The next seminar will be happening next week. And I'm sure each and every one of us know who is coming. Can we echo the name together?
Iron Man.
It says Iron Man. Nigeria Iron Man or which one? Okay, so yesterday was his birthday, right? And that man is one of the most simple persons I've met online. And meeting him physically will be beautiful. So I just want to prepare our minds. It's a prepping for each and every one of us. Prepare your questions. Don't say you're a painter and then you say Mr. Steve is the one coming. No. Last week we had Mr. Iman, the painter, but the things he gave to us, I'm sure it went through every facet of life. And then today we had him here, Mr. Kolapo, and I'm sure there was no separation, no segregation for painters and for sculptors. Everything he has spoken about applies to every aspect of life, not just art. For me, art is also life. So next week we'll be having Mr. Steve Ekpenisi. Let's prepare our minds to be here on the 22nd, 10 a.m. Tell somebody that Mr. Steve will be in Benin City live and direct in Antmen Studios of Art. He has been doing a whole lot to make sure that he comes here and stays with us next week. So let's prepare our minds. I think that's all. We'll be going out for group photograph. But while we're leaving, let's just okay, so we'll be going out for a group photograph. But before we do that, I just want to give brothers here the opportunity. If you want to say anything to the house or to the
Okay. Good afternoon, beautiful people.
Good afternoon.
Yes. What can I say? My name is Dr. Angela Wellman, and I'm here doing this residency. I am looking at music, the history of music in Nigeria, and ways that music in the enslaved people who were kidnapped from this land went across through the Middle Passage and spawned new music that we say in the United States is the root of so much music that we listen to today, from gospel to blues to jazz to hip hop, right? There's an instrument called the banjo, which for many years people thought was a hillbilly instrument of the white people.
Yeah.
But actually it's an instrument that was created by enslaved African people from their ancestral memory of being here. So I am here looking for a song that we have yet to hear over there. You understand? Trying to bridge a gap, make some connections, right? To some of the music the ancient music, like I start with the music of the Yoruba, and that's because many of those songs we know because there are many Yoruba Ifa practitioners there. And just bringing those songs here, singing them to Ogun priests who said, I remember the melody, but here's the real lyric.
Yeah.
Right? So making those kinds of contributions and connections. And also, I'm an institution builder. I created a school in Oakland, California. Y'all heard of Oakland?
Of course.
Yeah, a lot of hip hop and good stuff comes out of there, right?
Yes.
So it's called the Oakland Public Conservatory of Music, which centers the Black experience, the African-American experience in the development of American musical culture and identity.
Yes.
Okay? So I want to talk with you some about that identity kind of sovereignty thing, because I have a PhD in education
Wow.
And my PhD looked at, I did something called autoethnography, which is the study of the self to understand something more broadly, right? So I'm here to really learn from you, and I'm learning so much. I'm proud if this makes sense to you.
Yeah.
I'm proud to see you because Africa is the future. We know that. And it's in your hands. And everything that this brother said, take it to heart. Because these are also conversations that we're having with the young people in the United States who honestly don't have the same opportunities you have, believe it or not,
Yeah.
educationally, right? I was struggling to find an environment in Oakland that equals this right here, that's full of young Black people. For you take that for granted because we're in Africa, for Christ's sake. Everybody's Black.
Yeah.
But in the States, it's a different experience,
Yeah.
right? And so I'm very moved, and I almost got a little choked up, but I'm not going to do that in here. I'm not going to share those things. I'll do it in my work, and Ashara and I are going to be here on Saturday to kind of talk with you if you're here. I don't know who's going to be here, but we'll be here. But anyway, I could go on and on and on, but I'm very honored and so just like deeply full of what we call in the States Black joy, which is something that we cultivate and try to create as much as we can because white supremacy and racism defines so much of how a Black person moves through the streets.
Yeah.
So thank you for your presence. Thank you for your divinity that exists in each one of you and for receiving us today. And yeah, happy for your work. Thank you for your practice.
I don't need to say anything.
Yeah, you do. You got plenty.
I don't feel like I need to say anything else. You said some good things. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ashara Ekundayo. We're visiting from the U.S. This is my second time in Nigeria. I was here in November for Lagos Art Week with some other friends and have been, honored to be invited to do an archival research residency at Angels and Muse by Brother Victor and to be hosted by the team there. And to be able to invite Dr. Angela Wellman to also be in conversation with us as a collaborating around the intersections of the blues. So the visual, the sonic, the spiritual, and the material aspects of the blues, which looks like not only a sound, but it looks like the color indigo. So I'm investigating blue and how blue has shown up with African people throughout the continent and particularly in Nigeria, but throughout the diaspora, the importance, the spiritual importance and the sound of the blues. So looking at literature or listening for literature, looking and listening for dance and movement, listening to film and looking at these intersections in terms of how we relate to something that an ancestor author named Amiri Baraka talked about a blues people.
Yeah.
And a contemporary Black writer named Imani Perry, who's written a book on blue as well as it relates to African people. And she says, we have not always been Black, but we have always been blue. And so this idea of the identity of Blackness and how that shows up in our work and the conversations that we've had all over the continent and all over the world around who is Black, and how African Americans, many of us, embrace that color. We also embrace the color blue.
Yes.
So there's some thoughts. I'm an independent curator. I work with artists. I work with filmmakers. I work with writers. I work in museums and in galleries. And I have a platform called Artist as First Responder. And so when I am able to listen to artists and cultural workers and cultural bearers who we know show up first. Like when there's a catastrophe, the artist shows up first.
Yes.
When there's a celebration, the artist shows up first. So we see our work as essential. And when, this most recent pandemic of COVID kind of took over much of the planet, it were the artists who showed up to keep us sane, to save us.
Yes.
DJing for 8, 9, 10 hours so that we could dance, so that we could we could remember ourselves. So we're honored to be here. We're honored to see you and to listen to you. And we invite you to come sit and ask us questions because we find that the stories that much of our friends and our siblings and our young people get about Africa and African American culture is distorted.
Exactly.
It's distorted. We're gonna just kind of sit and hold space, and you get to ask us anything. But we just want you to know that everybody does not live like Beyonce and Jay-Z. That is a distorted viewpoint of how Black American people live. That is all made up. So what is real and what is made up? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Wow.